This has been a Game Time Minute. For more high school football action, check out yourview.com.
It's a colossal matchup from the capital city as University High takes on the Madison Prep Chargers. Two teams that are battling out for a district championship in 7-3A. Game time coming up next. On the eve of a top 10 matchup across the street at Tiger Stadium tonight, two of the best teams Baton Rouge has to offer will battle it out on the campus of Louisiana State University as the Madison Prep Chargers take on the U-High Cubs, the two-time defending champs in Division II. Hello, everyone. Jeff Palermo along with my broadcast partner, Jason DeQuare. Glad you could start your football weekend with us as we begin this big battle here between these two teams. It's a matchup of two teams that are undefeated in district play and a bit of a contrast of styles here. Madison Prep is loaded with skill position players, while U-High, they can really win games in the trenches.
No, that's right. I mean, you got Division I Power 5 talent all over this field. And for U-High, it's on the offense and defensive line. And for Madison Prep, it's out in the skill positions, as you mentioned, Jeff. So I really think that's going to be the contrast in styles. I think with a wet, sloppy field, U-High is going to try to pound this thing. And then with Madison Prep, they're going to try to get their skill position players involved out on the outsides and make plays that way.
We'll see several Division I players in this contest, so let's take a look at our key players. First of all, for the Madison Prep Chargers, and they are led by LSU commitment Major Burns, and then there's Joe Williams too. We'll see these guys go both ways, Jason.
Yeah, these are the two guys we were talking about, Burns and Williams. These are the playmakers. Williams is a little bit bigger and more physical, but Burns and both of them have the speed to really take it the distance. And also watch for them on the defensive side. They can make plays there as well.
We'll see the number one prospect in the state of Louisiana as well for University High, Jaquelin Roy. And then how about Rashad Green, another great offensive line for U-High, and he's the anchor of that starting five.
Well, and starting with Green on the offensive line, that's where they really want to get this offense going, make things easier for Tyler Lawson back there, get that running game going. And then what can you say about Jaquelin Roy? I mean, an LSU commit. He's so quick off the ball, number one ranked player in Louisiana. If somebody can disrupt this Madison Prep offense, it's Jaquelin Roy.
Should be a fun one. From Jeff Boss Field on the campus of LSU, Madison Prep has won 6 in a row. Can they make it 7? We'll find out soon. Kickoff coming up next.
Game Time on Your View is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Ready to serve you with auto, homeowners, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people. ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. And by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone stronger, faster, better. Check out yourview.com for in-depth high school football coverage.
This throbbing neck pain was so bad it moved to my shoulders and was causing severe headaches. Then a friend suggested I choose Peak. 2 weeks later, the pain was completely gone. So glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that. For you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
My shoulder pain got so bad I couldn't lift anything overhead. So I chose Peak Performance, and I can't believe how much better I am now. Peak really does get you back into the game of life. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Back at Jeff Boss Field on the campus of LSU, U-High and Madison Prep. Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud sponsor of the Yearview Louisiana Game of the Week. Let's take a look at the keys to victory. First of all, for Madison Prep.
Well, they got to be turnover free. Even more important when you have wet field and wet conditions, can't give U-High extra possessions. And then Zeon Chriss must be Chris, the quarterback from Madison Prep, 24 touchdowns on the season, can do it through the air as well as with his legs.
And then for the U-High Cubs, led by first-year head coach Andy Martin.
Well, we talked about in the open, Jeff, they want to be physical. They feel that they've got the advantage on both sides of the line of scrimmage, want to run the ball and get to the quarterback, and then be consistent on offense. They've had a little trouble with that. Let's see if they can get that offense going.
Let's hear from both head coaches on the importance of tonight's game.
It's a very important game. It's pretty much set the tone for, going into the playoffs. Both teams are playing extremely well, so we're really excited to be here and hope we have a good, exciting game.
No doubt. It's a very big game, not only for power ratings, but also within our district. I mean, this team, and we're both undefeated and both have good ball clubs, and they got some really good athletes, so it's going to be a tough match for us.
Let's bring in the third member of our broadcast crew, Kate Adams. Kate?
Thanks, Jeff. Well, the number 6 Madison Prep Chargers prepare to take on the number 3 ranked University High Cubs. And for the Cubs right now, they are rated number 1 in the Division II power ratings. But a win like tonight could basically vault them in those power ratings, giving them a little breathing room up against St. Thomas More. As for Madison Prep, they're rated number 5 in the Class 3A power ratings and 4-0 in district play. Actually, their first winning season since they made a trip to the Dome back in 2016. Both of these teams are eager to win tonight's District 7 Class 3A matchup, and with guys like Jaquaylin Roy, Joel Williams, and Major Burns, it should be a good one. Guys?
Yeah, we're certainly looking forward to this one. Marquise McNice has it teed up, and he booms that one into the end zone, and U-High will start from the 20-yard line. So we'll see the U-High Cubs here first. Tanner Lawson, the senior quarterback. They're averaging 27 points a game. He's completed 53% of his passes, 938 yards, 7 touchdowns. The 5 interceptions. He can run it a little bit, but he's more of a pocket passer. Had to wait his time to be the starting quarterback at U-High behind John Gordon McKernan. But he is a guy that has been able to grasp this offense, and he really understands his reads, and he'll get rid of the ball quickly. Lucas Peters is the new offensive coordinator, taking over the play calling duties for longtime head coach Chad Mahaffey, who of course has moved on to Walker High School. And U-High can run the football with Derek Graham, but Graham only gets about a yard or so as he was tackled by Major Burns. Let's take a look at U-High's offense. Only 9 points last week and a win, but they are averaging 27 a contest. The offensive line, we told you about Rashad Green. There's also Solomon Miles there too, a 3-year starter. That's the strength of this team, the O-line. Jordan Gilbert's really good too, an outstanding wide receiver, and they go to the air in the pass a little bit behind the intended receiver, Keelan Ross. Let's take a look at the Chargers defense, giving up just 16 points a game. I love their linebackers, Akeem King, and then Primus Breckenridge. What a name. And then you also have Jeremy Wire, Caleb Neal, he's been big for him. The defensive secondary, though, is where they hang their hat with Major Burns, Joe Williams, Tyrell Raby. Late scratch, though. Dejon Franklin not starting tonight. He turned an ankle in the walkthrough yesterday, so he is not playing tonight. Lawson will throw it in incomplete, and that's a 3-and-out for the U-High offense. And that's one of the things that I noticed with the stats, that we've seen some good quarterbacks at U-High over the years. Manny Miles, John Gordon McKernan. But Lawson, 53% on the percentage completion. Usually we see those U-High quarterbacks a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about the inconsistency on offense, and that's the thing that they're working on with Tanner Lawson. Now, keep in mind, he's got different signal callers now that, the former coach has left, and trying to get a little bit more acclimated with this system.
New punter for U-High, it's Wills Melton, filling in for Chris Potcher, who got hurt. And they basically just had tryouts, who can do it, and Melton stepped up, and he gets this one over to Madison Prep territory. Good starting position here for the Chargers, a 30-yard punt. And take a look at Zeon Chriss. Looking forward to seeing this young man. He has thrown for over 1,600 yards, 25 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's like Joe Burrow numbers there. He had 4 touchdowns earlier this season in a game against Bruley. He's just a sophomore. probably coming off his worst game. Both of these teams did not play particularly well last week. Certainly looking ahead to tonight's huge matchup. And a little misdirection there, and right up the middle, that's Miles Pollard, and he bangs his way all the way to the 36-yard line. Nice start offensively for Madison Prep, who's averaging 35 points a game.
Yeah, good misdirection here, and then Pollard with the carry there, right off tackle. Kind of had U-High on their heels a little bit there.
They pitch it out to Pollard again, but not much running room as the Cubs are there to defend that one. Leading the charge there was Jaden Osbury, the freshman linebacker for the Cubs. Let's now take a look at Madison Prep starters. Roy Davis, Joe Williams, Malik Palmer, Tyrell Raby, and Major Burns are your wide receivers. Alexander Atkinson, a senior, Troy Porter, Croy Frickin, Miles Rulis, and Caleb Neal is a 275-pound senior. Nothing happening there on the carry as U-High gets in the backfield. Stuffed there by a bunch of University High players led by Nick Williams, a sophomore defensive lineman who has 14.5 tackles on the year.
Well, and this is where U-High wants to live right here, getting penetration, getting pressure. So number one, it's stopping the run game, but two, trying to see if they can get to Chriss in the backfield.
3rd down and 14 with the football just inside the 40-yard line now for the Chargers. They roll out Chriss. And wide open, that's Joel Williams, and that's a 1st down for the Chargers. 22 catches on the season.
And that's a 3rd and 14. You see Chriss roll out, and I tell you what, the guy's got a rocket for an arm, just a sophomore. Guy's gonna be incredible, already is, and he catches Williams right there in stride. Good, accurate throw.
Cousin of Christian Fulton, the outstanding cornerback for LSU, a tough runner, loves to compete. Number 11 prospect in the state is Joe Williams. Keeping it is Chriss. Chriss trying to get away from a tackler, but he gets thrown to the turf. Jaden Osbury as the freshman linebacker that we've mentioned his name twice. Let's look at U-High's starting lineup defensively. Roy and Williams along with Walton Roberts, Micah Davey, and Jaden Osbury. Jeremiah Vessel, Cameron Dorsey, Brock Slayton, one of the safeties, Dylan Smith, Josh Slaughter, and then Andre Van Marenboer. They keep it on the ground. A little bit more of the running back for Madison Prep, as that is Miles Pollard. And they have not run the ball with a lot of success. I mean, Pollard's averaging just under 4 yards a carry. Roy Davis, the other running back, averaging less than 5. They need that running game to get going to help out Zeon Chriss.
Yeah, and then Zeon Chriss will take some of that load too, and he's not afraid to tuck it and run it, and he's got those skills as well.
3rd down and 5 with Chriss in shotgun formation. Looking to his left, throws, complete, as that is Malik Palmer, a senior wide receiver with 17 catches on the season. And that should be enough, I believe, for another 1st down for Madison Prep, and it is.
Yeah, it should be good, and I'll tell you what, U-High's going to have to get a little closer. I mean, this was just this pitch and catch here. I mean, that was too easy. You got to, I mean, it's 10, 15 yards off the receiver there, and you got to get up on him a little bit if you're going to slow that down. That was Palmer. I know the field is wet, and you're worried about some of these receivers getting behind you, but you're going to have to come a little closer to him than that.
Freshman Jeremiah Vessel had the coverage, 15 tackles on the season for him with an interception. So with Madison Prep driving here, there's a timeout on the field. Don't miss any of the action this season. Go to yourview.com/football and sign up for the Game Time newsletter to get the previous week's highlights, stories, and recruiting news, along with a preview of the upcoming week's matchups delivered straight to your inbox. Again, that's yourview.com/football. There you look at Zeon Chriss. Started as a freshman. He beat out 2 older guys to take the job, and boy, they got to love the fact that they get to grow with this guy for the next couple of years. Not much running room that time for Chriss as he was dragged down. Andre Van Marenboer on the tackle. Chriss, 276 yards rushing on the season. very calm out there. One of the things that his head coach, Landry Williams, said about him, it's almost too calm. I almost wonder if he's got a pulse going there.
Now, look, I think those are good qualities, particularly for a sophomore. Normally, you're trying to calm them down.
2nd and goal at the 9-yard line. Over the middle, nice route, nice catch, touchdown Madison Prep. Malik Palmer gets into the end zone for the 5th time this season. And that was a 10-yard touchdown pass between Chriss and Palmer, and what a great drive for the Chargers.
Yeah, well, and Chriss saw his guy, just an in route here. You can see him looking to the left and waiting for him to free up, and as soon as he freed up there, he stuck it on Palmer. Another good throw for Chriss. He looked sharp coming out of the gates, and obviously these wide receivers that have been highly touted did their job on this drive as well.
And Jaquilin Roy was starting to breathe down Chris's neck, and he still stood in there tall and delivered a strike to the end zone. The extra point try is no good as he missed it wide right. So with 7:26 to go in the first quarter, the Chargers strike first as they lead U-High. More of Game Time coming up.
Tonight's Game Time keys to the game are brought to you by Visit Baton Rouge. It's not just the capital city, it's the hub of all things Louisiana. Find out more about all the Red Stick has to offer at visitbatonrouge.com.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone. Stronger, faster, better. Choose Peak.
Back here from University High, or I should say LSU campus, Madison Prep. An impressive opening scoring drive for the Chargers, and they lead the Cubs 6-0. A whistle and a flag on the kickoff from Marquise McKnight. And Madison Prep will be backed up 5 yards as they were a little bit too quick.
Well, in the first kickoff of the game for McKnight went in the end zone, so backing him up here should give U-High a chance to return the football and maybe start with a little better field position.
Jordan Gilbert, one of the men back there for U-High, along with Josh Slaughter. And then you also have Cameron Dorsey, too. Our officials, of course, from the Baton Rouge Officiating Association. Our referee tonight is Alton Booth. McKnight's got it teed up, and the approach end over end. This is returnable. Who wants it, though? A little miscommunication there. It's going to be Cameron Dorsey, and Dorsey gets cut down. Nice job by Madison Preps. Craig Strong, as he was strong on that play. And the Cubs will start at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, good job by the Prep coverage team. But that time they were kind of fighting over the ball there, and when you do that, you miss that wedge. That wedge was formed, and it throws the timing off, and just not able to get the return that you'd like.
Only a 6-yard return. So Tanner Lawson and the Cubs back out there after a 3-and-out on their opening possession. Lawson takes the snap, and a quick handoff to Graham. Graham finds some running room off the right side. And he gets about 7 or 8.
And this is what I think U-High needs to do in this game. I know we've known U-High as get the ball out, a lot of passes, talented wide receivers, but in this game, I think Graham and this offensive line can be the difference. I'd really ride him.
Graham did not play last year. Lawson winds up, gets hit as he throws, but he still completes the pass to Gilbert. And Gilbert is taken down at the 35-yard line. Tyrell Raby had the coverage, but Jordan Gilbert has been outstanding for U-High. 17 catches on the season, and he's really turned it on lately. He had 4 grabs last week.
Well, it's a good job by Gilbert going and finding the football. Tyler Lawson put it out there for him, but Raby got turned around and just could not locate it, and Gilbert was able to and able to pull it down, 38-yard pass play.
Last week, University High beat Bruley just 9-6. Cameron Dorsey scoring the lone touchdown for them. The left-hander Lawson throws behind his receiver, incomplete. Gilbert couldn't handle it, and then almost a chance there for Trevor Evans, and he couldn't handle it either.
Yeah, got to be careful. Again, wet field, that ball gets wet. You got to try to be sure-handed here. And you can see just a two-step drop and just a little wide. And I'll tell you, Tanner Lawson put some juice on the ball there, so it was coming with some heat. When you're off target a little bit, makes it even more difficult to bring in.
Lawson, 6'5", 210 pounds, as Graham gets another carry. Graham, a sophomore, of course, taking over for Michael Hollins, who moved on to the University of Virginia. Michael Hollins took over for Nick Brissett, who had a good career at LSU. And Derek Graham's the next guy, 241 yards rushing in the season opener against John Ehret.
And he's a big kid. I mean, he is a load. You can see here, you know, just breaking tackles, carrying people with him.
Jet sweep, but not much running room there for Ross, but he stays on his feet. Or did they mark him down earlier than that? And you see Landry Williams is really upset. He thought he was down at the 25-yard line, and I know our view is not very good tonight with these foggy windows, but I thought he was down too. So from the 25-yard line now, U-High trying to match that score that Madison Prep put up on its opening drive. Fake the jet sweep this time. Pump fake, in trouble. Going down is Lawson. Sacked on the play. That looked to be Alexander Atkinson, and it was the 6'2" senior making the play. And that will bring up second down.
And this is another area that there's a little drop off with typical U-High quarterbacks. You know, Tanner Lawson is not going to beat you with his feet. That's not what he's known for, is trying to run the football. Now, he is a big guy, but just not as quick as McKernan was.
Again, Ross in motion. They go up the middle, but no running room there for Graham. Maybe a yard or two. That's about it. Chargers now have forced U-High in a 3rd and long, 5 minutes to go in this opening quarter.
Well, that defense got very fired up when Landry Williams, Coach Williams, was in the referee's face, thought the player was down prior to making the first down. Madison Prep has stepped up and made 2 good defensive plays back-to-back.
Wet turf, very little rain falling right now, just a very light drizzle. Madison Prep showing blitz. Let's see if they bring 6. Now they back off. They'll play some coverage here with Lawson. Lawson steps up into coverage and a big-time hit. Huge hit there, no flag, and that was Joel Williams delivering the blow. Wow.
Well, we talked about Joel in the open being a wide receiver, but big and physical and will hit you on defense, and he shows you that right here.
Excuse me, Major Burns on the hit, excuse me.
You'll see here, Lawson tries to stick it in, but unable to because Burns comes up, and boy, that was close to a little helmet to helmet too. You saw the neck buckle, but I think he got him just in that neck area, and that's why the referee didn't call it.
4th and 16, Major Burns with the big hit. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Madison Prep rushes 4. Lawson fires one, incomplete. Flag flies. Oh, let's see what this is all about. There's 2 flags on the field. Won't be an automatic first down if it's pass interference because it was 4th and 16. It'd only be a 15-yard penalty if that's the case. Be interesting to see if our cameras caught this penalty.
Well, and then the question becomes, now it's 4th and 1, you think they may go for it, but the other option here is you've now moved them into, makeable field goal territory.
It'll be 4th and 1, they're gonna go for it. Jaquilin Roy is coming into the football game. He'll line up at fullback in front of Derek Graham, the tailback. Roy does have a touchdown on the season. He scored it against Parkview.
And I wouldn't be shocked if he's the one who ends up carrying the football.
Quarterback sneak, and Roy just pushes him to necessary yardage there.
Wow.
Madison Prep coaches are saying he assisted on the carry, but you hardly ever see that call.
Tanner Lawson had no choice but to pick up the first down. Roy came in and said, hey, look, just hold on to the football. I got you. And you see Roy, the LSU commitment. And we talked to Coach this week, and he will play both offense and defense, particularly when you need him on offense for plays like that. And you talk about just moving a crowd.
Big penalty there, Jason. It looked like Madison Prep was going to get off the field. Instead, U-High still has it. Hard run here from Graham. Graham broke a couple of tackles and then flung to the ground at the 9-yard line. Down to the field and Kate Adams.
Hey guys, well, in week 5, when U-High was playing Parkview, Jaquaylin Roy got a big touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown run, and we'll see if he can do it again here tonight. Back to you.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's take a look at that touchdown that he had earlier this season. Nicely done on the LHSAA Game of the Week.
Reminds me of somebody who used to play for Chicago, Jeff.
Just don't bring up last Sunday's game, Jason.
You know I'm going to fit it in.
Oh, what a big-time hit in the backfield. Wow. Nothing happening there. That is Primus Breckenridge bringing the power.
Well, you've been wanting to call his name, and you got good reason on that play. He gets penetration really untouched, and I tell you what, when he gets in the backfield, he's a sure tackler. You can see him. They just did not pick him up on the line, and he was a free runner. And I tell you what, Graham never had a chance to get going there.
19 solo tackles for Breckenridge, make it 20. And there's a new quarterback into the ball game here for U-High. That's Christian Ard, the former Walker High quarterback. He has transferred over, and he was in there on that play for Tanner Lawson. So I don't know if Lawson got hurt or what the situation is. We might have to check in on that. Lawson, I see, is walking on the sidelines. I think he's okay. But sometimes they put Christian Ard in there every now and then.
Well, and he's going to be a little bit better of a runner. So if there's a chance the quarterback may run, Ard's going to be your guy.
August Olmstead on the field goal try, and it was blocked. And Madison Prep does come up with the stand that they were looking for. Not sure if it was Major Burns who got his hands on it, but a big defensive stand once again for the Chargers.
Well, Burns was the one coming off, jumping up and down. I couldn't see. You're right, the window's a little foggy here. Couldn't see who got a tip on it, but it looks like it was Burns. You can see his teammates kind of dapping him up there. The fans trying to stay dry, and the Prep fans are happy with what they've seen so far in this game. Yeah, he just comes off the corner and able to get a piece. Didn't even lay out, really. Just that speed he has and able to get some of those long arms on the football.
Madison Prep with the football late in the first quarter. Whistles. Timeout going to be called here by the Chargers, with 2:15 to go before the end of the first quarter. Well, game time on Your View. Thanks Louisiana Lift for their support of this telecast. Specializing in customer service on equipment, rentals, parts, and training, Louisiana Lift has been serving customers since 1980. You can check them out online at LA Lift or call their Baton Rouge office at 753-5700. Nice view tonight. Again, if the rain stays away. And so far, I think we're a little bit lucky right now, Jason, that based on the forecast, we didn't know what was going to happen tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and those Prep players are lucky because back in the day, there was no tent when you stood on the sideline. I can assure you. You just stood out there and got wet. But I'll tell you what, the game's changed so much. They got TVs down there. They got covered tents. Technology is just taking over.
It's the tent to protect the TV or players.
Yeah, probably the TV, the equipment.
Equipment is what really matters in a situation like that. Madison Prep works their offense again, and now Roy Davis got the carry, but he got pushed back quickly. Walton Roberts, who has 28.5 total tackles on the season, including a tackle for a loss there. And there's a look at Jaquilin Roy. Committed to LSU, then decommitted, but committed again. And he's really worked on his body, Jason. He has shed 40 pounds from last year and then put some of it back on in muscle.
And he looks like a different, my first time covering him this year, and he looks like a completely different player from last year, just physically, his makeup.
Second out and long as Chriss rolls out, throws, and it is caught. That's Joel Williams, number 1 on the catch to the 25-yard line. He's about 5 yards shy of the first down. Brings up third down for the Chargers.
Well, and we've seen all of their major playmakers touch the ball. That's going to be your guys, Williams, Joel Williams, Major Burns, Tyrell Raby. Those are going to be your 3 primary wide receivers and who they're going to be looking to get the football to. And I like the idea and the strategy of kind of rolling Chriss out. That kind of keeps Jaquilin Roy guessing.
Madison Prep did a nice job picking up the blitz. Chriss gets hit as he throws, and there's more contact. There are flags all over the place. We may have a block below the waist. We might have roughing the passer. We may have pass interference. You can play bingo. If you got your bingo card out, you're going to hit a lot of them right here.
Well, I saw number 41,
on the play.
Bankston, show up
Block
early.
it below the waist on the offense. Pass interference on the defense. Those penalties all set. We replayed it down.
Well, you know what they call that on the playground, Jeff? That's the old do-over.
Now, on this block here that you'll see below the waist, if you do this in the NFL, it's a thing of beauty, but you can't do it here. And I would imagine Ed Orgeron doesn't like seeing a 5'8" guy take out Jaquilin Roy's ankles.
Yeah, but the 5'8" guy didn't like seeing number 99. I can promise you that. He knows he was going low. He wanted to live to play another day. They call that a business decision, Jeff.
Third down and 5. Here comes more pressure. Off his back foot. Strong arm, but a little bit too far for the receiver, who was tightly covered on the play. And University's defense gets a much-needed 3 and out.
Yeah, that was Vessel on coverage. That was great coverage. Ran with the receiver the entire way, got good position, and really nowhere for Chriss to go with the football.
So with 52 seconds left, University will get the football back here as Madison Prep will punt it. Marquise McKnight is the punter. And Landry Williams, the head coach for the Chargers, will tell you, Marquise McKnight was a horrible punter when he started. But he's put the work in, and now he's one of the better punters in the state. We saw him in warm-ups just booming the football.
Yeah, doing a good job, both place kicking as well as punting, although he missed a PAT earlier.
And there you get a look at it. I mean, that's a good punt in high school football as it goes out of bounds at the 37.
And you may have a running into the roughing the punter here. There's a flag back there.
He needs to sell it a little bit more. He needs to work on his acting skills.
He's a former linebacker, Jeff. Yeah, he's not used to it. Was a 38-yard punt, but looks like Prep may end up keeping the football here.
Yeah, it looks like the offense is coming back out on the field for the Chargers.
And that's got to be so disheartening for a coach. I mean, you finally get a good stance. You contain Chriss and the boys. And then let's see right here. Yeah,
that could have been dangerous.
Just runs into him. And I know some people are like, hey, you didn't hit him hard, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, when the punters are exposed and have one leg up in the air, they can't protect themselves. So any kind of hit or bump is typically going to draw a flag.
Well, we've seen penalties going both ways for each team that have really kept drives alive. So now operating from the 40-yard line are the Chargers. And they'll run straight ahead, but not much running room. And this has been the issue for Prep all season. Just the lack of a consistent running game to help out what is a good passing attack.
Yeah, and I don't think this is the team to try to get that run game going against, particularly off the tackle. That's where that's the strength of their defense. I liked what they did in that first series. They rolled Chriss out. They had misdirection when they did run the ball. But I don't think just the straight dive or traditional run plays at the teeth of this U-High defense is going to work.
And Davis is more of a runner he excels in space, while Poulard, who we saw in the first drive, more of the downhill runner. But tell you what, Landry Williams, the head coach for Madison Prep, has to be pretty excited with what he's seen in the first 12 minutes of this game. They took the opening drive for them and marched it down the field and scored a touchdown. Meanwhile, the Chargers defense has been able to hold back this U-High offense. A good one from the campus of LSU, where the Chargers are leading the Cubs.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Phony Risponi isn't looking out for you, and his business record proves it. He made a fortune cheating employees out of overtime pay and health care, while benefiting from over $500 million in corporate tax breaks. Money that should have gone to schools and public safety. And when our unemployment was one of the highest in the country, Risponi hired foreign labor instead of Louisiana workers. He's never looked out for us, and he's got no business being our governor.
Hi, we are live with the PPTV network, where one of the top athletes is about to make his important decision. We know his character, and nothing will hold him back.
I'm glad to have my family and friends here for this choice. It's more than my career. It will affect the rest of my life. I choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The decision is in. Why choose Peak?
Their reputation and their record of success is unmatched.
When it matters most, another patient chooses Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Back here at LSU, home field for the U-High Cubs, right next to Alec Bach Stadium, Skip Bertman Field. 6-0, Madison Prep leading U-High as we begin the second quarter. Chriss back to work, flushed out of the pocket, makes a nice move, makes another nice move. Look at that, he's made 3 guys miss, and then finally Nick Williams gets to him and brings him down very close to the first down marker. He might be a half a yard shy, but what a nice run there from Zeon Chriss.
And this is where Madison Prep has a little bit of the advantage, because the quarterback is so mobile. And obviously, U-High can get pressure with Jaquilin Roy and some of the others, but he can defeat it with his legs here. And if there's nothing there and the play breaks down, he just makes something happen. You know, he just improvises here, and he shows you he's essentially like a wide receiver out there in the open field.
TJ Nightshed got in there unblocked, and that forced Chriss to go on the move. 3rd down and 1. And did U-High jump off sides as we have flags? Going to be a false start on Madison Prep. So what was a makeable 3rd and 1, all of a sudden becomes 3rd and 6.
False start. Offense. Still 3rd down.
That Madison Prep offensive line for Landry Williams lost 2 seniors at the start of the year. And they're hoping to get some guys back. Jalen McKnight is back. They're missing Tim Leonard, but they've had to go with a bit of a makeshift offensive line this year. Chriss, nice pass, completed to Joe Williams. As he uses that 6'1" height. You know, one of the things I like Chris's delivery here, Jason, is look where he throws the football. He's got a very high delivery, and it's able to get over the defensive back.
Yeah, it's over the top. You can see, watch when he rolls out. And the other thing is, like his coach mentioned,
wow, that's a great pass.
Yeah, he just composed and so calm. I mean, he's got pressure in his face. He's got a linebacker that he's got to place that ball over, and he does both of those things very well in order to pick up a huge completion and a 1st down. I mean, just a sophomore. This guy's going to be great.
At the 45-yard line. Oh, nothing happening there. There's Micah Davey, the son of Rohan Davey, who really runs well for his size. He can move laterally. 30 solo tackles on the season. Missed most of last year with an injury. That's the 6th tackle for a loss for Micah Davey.
Yeah, and he just came in there, read the play, stayed in his gap, and the ball came to him, and obviously made a good tackle there. Good job there by Micah Davey.
Before the season started, actually it was during the season, Colin Claybear went down with a torn ACL. That put Jaden Osbury, the freshman linebacker, out there, along with Micah Davey. 2nd and 12. Chriss throws it quickly. Wide open. Joe Williams can walk backwards into the end zone.
Well, I didn't see a U-High defensive back fall down, so obviously it had to be busted coverage there. Just confusion, miscommunication. And I'll tell you what, you give Zeon Chriss and Williams this type of opportunity to connect. Yeah, just miscommunication. Not sure what Gilbert was looking at, eyes in the backfield back there. But obviously Zeon Chriss and Williams took advantage of that, and that's about as easy as it can get in terms of pitch and catch touchdown.
Almost looked like Joe Burrow and Racey McMath last week against Mississippi State.
Need a lot more of that tomorrow.
Chriss, 27 touchdown passes on the season now. Williams has got 9 touchdown catches. The extra point try, that time it is good from Marquise McKnight. And Madison Prep leading U-High 13-0. Chargers rolling here on a 6-game winning streak. We'll be back after this.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Tonight's Game Time keys to the game are brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America. For more Game Time high school football coverage, check out yourview.com.
Chargers have charged out to a 13-0 lead over University High on the campus of LSU. Jeff Palermo, Jason DeQuare, Kate Adams. Glad he could join us on this soggy Friday night from Baton Rouge. Madison Prep has won 6 in a row. They lost their season opener to Walker 38-30, but they've been rolling since then. A win over Southern Lab, Estruma, Bruley, Baker, Glen Oaks. Last week, shutout Mentorship Academy 16-0. For U-High, they won their season opener against John Ehret 20-6 as we have another flag on the kickoff.
I'll tell you what, Coach Williams from Madison Prep, he couldn't be happier with the start of his team. On the road, coming out 13-0. His quarterback, Zeon Chriss, is 6 of 7, 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I mean, that's about as good as you could draw it up.
Chargers number 6 in the Class 3A polls. For U-High, after winning against John Ehret, went up to Monroe and got blanked by Neville 28-0. And then, what, a ball fall off the tee there?
Yeah, the only thing they got to figure out is this whole kickoff thing. There's a couple times they've been offsides on that deal.
There's a look at Coach Andy Martin in his first season. Was the defensive coordinator and associate coach for his good friend, Chad Mahaffey. On the return, and not much happening there. Madison Prep, good job on the kickoff coverage. Marlon Smart with the good play. Let's take a look at our scoring drive. Was a 48-yard touchdown pass to that man, Joe Williams, who may be headed to Kentucky. That's what 24/7 right now says he might choose the Wildcats. Join former Scotlandville star Kelvin Joseph. They're going to run the football here with Derek Graham, but not much space. Hakeem King, one of the defenders there, along with Jeremy Wire, a senior defensive lineman, and Graham averaging 5.5 yards a carry. I call him Rodeo. Derek Rodeo Graham.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, right now, Madison Prep just seems more intense, more fired up, just a greater desire right now. And U-High's got to get going.
Tanner Lawson, 2nd and 12. Looks like a busted play.
Yeah, I mean, just they are discombobulated. I mean, just nothing is really working. You've seen a couple of plays that did not get off correctly. You see one there, and yeah, they've got to settle down here.
last week offensively, just not a good game. 9-6. Graham had 105 yards rushing, but that was about it offensively, including a long of 37. The offensive line is the strength of this team, but Madison Prep is just flying around defensively. 3rd and 14. Let's see if Lawson can make a play. Too high. And another 3 and out.
Yeah, and again, he had his receiver open, Keelan Ross, and just overshot him. Just gotta calm down here. You see Tanner Lawson there, just gotta relax a little bit. And you know, he had an opportunity to make that completion and pick up a first down. He knows it. That's why he's shaking his head. He'll go sit down over there, talk with the coaches, and try to get this thing sorted out.
Joe Williams and Malik Palmer ready to return it. There's a look at that ITI Technical College scoring drive that we promised you. Joe Williams thought about going up there and catching that one and then thought better of it. Got out of the way at the last second. Turns out to be a pretty good punt. And Madison Prep will start from its own 36-yard line. This week on Yearview's High School Football Recruiting Podcast, Over the Middle, it's the biggest high school football game of the season, and it's a matchup recruiting fans across the country have been waiting for all year. Number 1 Mater Day versus number 2 St. John Bosco. Greg Biggins of 24/7 Sports and Fox Sports West has the call Friday night, and he joins Jeremy to break down that game. And then also some of the top ranked quarterbacks and some of the other FBS recruits out there. $52-yard punt. Zeon Chriss back out there for Madison Prep. And he'll keep it. And Chris gets hit hard by Walton Roberts with the stop. Defense has been playing well for U-High this year. They have not been giving up many big plays except that touchdown catch by Joe Williams we saw a moment ago.
Well, and they haven't faced a trio of wide receivers like they're facing right now. And obviously a couple of these guys will be playing Division I next year. So they really have their test here today.
2nd down and 8. Pull yard on the carry for maybe a yard. Let's send it down to the field, and Kate Adams.
Well, Chargers O-line making sure they basically don't miss a beat. They're sitting there studying the film themselves, even if the coach isn't there. Troy Porter reminding the rest of the guys on his O-line, look, when you're going up against guys like Jaquaylin Roy, Jordan Gilbert, Micah Davey, you have got to be on top of your game. Back to you guys.
So far they have, Kate. They have played really well. They face 3rd down and long here, 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and here's where I would take Chris and kind of roll him out, give him that RPO, that run-pass option. I wouldn't sit him back in the pocket and let U-High tee off on him.
Chris's pass. Oh, dropped by Joe Williams.
Wow, that was on the money, too. Would have been a first down. You don't expect Williams to drop those. He knows it. That's a big drop because that stops a drive. And I tell you what, Chris gets it out quickly and just boom, right there. Guy impresses me, man.
So out to punt the football. Looks like we got a new, no, that's still out, Madison Prep's punter out there. I thought it was a number 10, but that is Marquise McKnight. We saw last time he got roughed up. They're missing a guy. Well, maybe they're not. Well, if you're U-High and come after this punt, doesn't seem like Madison Prep is completely organized, and they did come after him. And another roughing the punter is coming. They did not get contact on that football. And it actually turned out to be a pretty good punt for McKnight.
Yeah, that's the question, you know, and obviously they're not going to go back and look at it. But as far as that punt went, I don't think that they were able to tip it right there. But that was Roman Petrie right in the face of the punter. Go ahead, Jeff.
44-yard punt. Let's see if it's running or roughing.
Running into the kicker.
Running.
Still 4th down.
And I still think Madison Prep should punt the football. 13-0 on the road. You've been playing good defense with U-High. They're going to think it over, but I think you still punt the football. Let's see if we can get a good look. You know, see Petrie come in right there, and he was close, but did not touch the football, and that's why you can't touch the punter. Well, they're going to put the offense on the field.
I kind of like this, Jason. I know this is unconventional for sure, but
yeah, the only issue I have is if you don't make it here, you give U-High offense a chance to get right back in this game, and you've shut them down. Maybe they're going to just try to draw them off. I think that's what they're looking at here.
Well, the play clock's not running, so I have now they call the timeout.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move. Try to draw them off. It's a good look. You may be able, if they get them, since it's 4th and 3, you get them to jump, you pick up a first down, but I think they're going to drop back and punt this thing.
Well, don't miss any of the action this season. Go to yourview.com/football and sign up for the Game Time newsletter to get the previous week's highlight stories and recruiting news, along with a preview of the upcoming week's matchups delivered straight to your inbox. Again, that's yourview.com/football. So McKnight is back out there to punt the football for Madison Prep.
Now you has to figure out how not to rough the punter. That's how Madison Prep was able to score one of their touchdowns, and so obviously a chance to get the ball back. I'm U-High. I'm like, look, let's just get the return set up. Leave the punter alone.
Trevor Evans ready to return the punt, standing at his own 22-yard line, and he'll have to run after this one. Picks it up inside his own 15, and great job again by the coverage team for the Chargers. All over the U-High returners tonight. 43 yards on the punt.
This is a good job of McKnight. I tell you what, I'm sure he's worked on it and it's intentional, but he is punting away from the returners. And when you do that, it doesn't allow them to catch it clean and get going upfield. They've got to go chase the ball down and then try to return the ball. And thus far, he's having a good night punting the football.
Let's see if U-High can get its offense on track. Andy Martin, an Opelousas native, graduated from Opelousas Catholic. Was an assistant at Catholic High for 9 seasons. Still calls the plays on defense.
He says he's not ready to give that up quite yet.
Tanner Lawson looking, big hit. Lawson was staring his receiver down the entire time, and Graham really never had a chance to make a move on Tyrell Raby.
Raby saw this thing before Lawson threw it. You can see it right there. He's breaking on the football as the football is coming out of Lawson's hands there, and just no chance there.
A lot of negative plays tonight for U-High's offense.
And look, Raby's coming up. Gimpy there coming off the field.
Remember, they're already down a cornerback as Dejon Franklin not playing tonight, and there's a pass that's incomplete. Intended for U-High's Tyler McLeod.
And Jeff, look, I know it's in U-High's DNA to get these quick passes and get this offense going by throwing the football, but I really think they need to use their strength, try to use their strength on that offensive line and get this running game going first, and then try to get Lawson to open up some of the passing game.
3rd and 13, Lawson rolling to his left. He's got to get rid of it. He does. It gets hit from behind. The ball comes out. Chargers say they have it. Waiting for an official signal. Madison Prep football.
Yeah, just three straight passing attempts. You don't try to run the ball at all. And Madison Prep is just teeing off, and they've got so much speed on the edges. Lawson is trying to roll out, and with that slow rollout, you got to get rid of the football because they're going to come get you. And you can see there, not the biggest guys, but they've got some fast ones, and that's Andre Haynes coming off the corner there. And he's got a motor, and now the Chargers knocking right back on the door.
Yeah, Andre Haynes and Nylan Jones, the 2 outside linebackers for Madison Prep, are small, but man, are they fast. Great opportunity now here for the Chargers. 1st and goal from the 7. Chriss, quick throw,
Easy.
touchdown.
Easy.
And Tyrell Raby looked plenty healthy there, and it's 19-0 Madison Prep.
That's too easy. I mean, they gave that slant up. When he ran that slant route, there was nobody within 5 yards. That's easy pitch and catch. That's all day there for him if you're not going to cut that thing off. You can see right here, Chriss just stares it down. He knows he has it from the time they line up. Just too much space. Not playing any kind of bump run coverage.
You're talking about a program here that had a 27-game winning streak heading into week 2 in U High. And they got beat by Neville 28-0. And that's one thing, right, Jason? You go up to Monroe, playing a classification up. Extra point is good. And then they really battled Catholic High the next week.
Yeah.
But this has to be stunning for those that have been following U High. They're down 20-0 back after this.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Great district battle here tonight, but so far it's been all Madison Prep. The Chargers leading University 20-0 as 3 different receivers have caught a touchdown pass. Tyrell Raby the latest, and you can see the look in Madison Prep's eyes. They want this one.
No, they do.
This one is...
The body language has been there all night for them. They have been the one that has been fired up and just jacked up, and U High's got to get going.
Let's see if maybe on this drive. Well, that's not a good start. Mishandling the kickoff. Gilbert trying to run out of trouble, and he gets ushered out of bounds there at about the 18-yard line as he was shoved out of bounds by Hakeem King. Let's take a look at our matchup next week. A Catholic League battle. The Tigers of Holy Cross against the Crusaders of Brother Martin. We'll be down in the Big Easy on All Saints Day, Friday, November 1st. You can catch all the action at 7 o'clock. Just yourview.com next week as CST will have Rummel and Curtis. So a couple of big Catholic League matchups next week.
Yeah, there'll be a few prayers before the start of that game. All Saints Day too.
There's that U High offensive line. Now you're down by 20, Jason. The passing game hasn't been working for you. You still like to see Derek Graham get some carries?
I do, and the reason why is you don't want to give the ball right back to them again with another chance before the half. So let's see if you can maintain possession for a little while.
Well, they're going to try a screen pass, and it gets blown up. My goodness. How many times have we seen a U High player just get laid out here tonight as Madison Prep continues to fly around, and this is not a good sign for the Cubs.
No, because I think that's the
their best offensive player,
Yeah,
right?
I think that's the key to his offense. And, just, again, Madison Prep read it, pressure on the quarterback.
Ooh.
And that's just where you get the wind knocked out of you. And it's going to take him a few seconds to recover from that deal.
Usually it's one guy that sees the play happen. But when you see 2 guys, I mean, he got hit by 2 guys at the same time. And it's been a rough night for Tanner Lawson, just 2 of 9 for 35 yards. Good sign here, Graham getting up, but they're going to probably make sure there's
just the wind, and you can see they want to examine the head area too. I'm sure he's going to tell them, look, I got hit in the gut. It wasn't the head. But, they want to make sure they go through all the tests and optimistic.
Let's see the scoring drive. Didn't take long. 1 play, 7 yards. Raby, the touchdown catch. For Raby, that was his 8th touchdown catch of the season. Chriss now up to 28 touchdown passes. Not much running room there for Keelan Ross, the second leading rusher. 120 yards on the season, averaging 6 yards a carry. And the Cubs are facing 3rd and long again.
Man, Prep is just teeing off. I mean, this hit by Raby, boy, that was a collision in the hole. He just came up and just licked Ross there. Watch this hit here. Right here, watch number 7 come and feel it. No, that was 1, just
Joe Williams.
Joe Williams. I mean, he just started running the opposite direction.
On 3rd and 7. complete. And this is going to be a much-needed first down for the Cubs. That's Austin Osbury, the sophomore tight end, the son of Verge Osbury, making the catch. One of the new differences with this U-High offense, they use the tight end more than they did with Chad Mahaffey's offenses, and it pays off here.
And Coach Martin was really singing Osbury's praises in our weekly conference call, and being able to play the tight end position, he's really caught some valuable catches for them on key drives, and you saw him there.
Oh, this is a penalty on U-High?
And when it's just not going your way.
Wow.
You see Osbury's numbers.
Blocking it back on the offense. We'll repeat third down.
Wow.
It was a really good play design, and then, just threw a ill-advised block there.
So it's still third and about 6. It was 3rd and 7 when that other play went off. So it's up to Tanner Lawson to make another play here. Graham is back out there. That's a good sign for U-High. He's standing to the right of Lawson. Lawson's got time, connects again, and his receiver is not going to get the first down. Cut down on the play.
That was Trevor Evans. And they've been trying to run some of these little crossing routes and hit underneath some clear out patterns, and that's how they caught Osbury on the last play, and then here trying to catch Evans, but he wasn't able to turn upfield. Good pursuit there by Prep.
And that was a great play by Morgan Patton, a first-year starter. Had a high ankle sprain earlier in the season, but he has been solid for them. Really hasn't given up any big plays at all. And a good punt here, but now Madison Prep.
Yeah, this is where you got to be careful.
The Cubs, boy, do they need something. They need a turnover or something right here. And Madison Prep will get the football to begin the second half too, so Chargers could run away and hide right now.
Yeah, and Coach Williams is feeling that, and he's going to press. He's going to press hard, and really U-High's got to just dig down deep. They got to get it together and come up with a big stance. And, Coach Martin, as you look at him there, he's going to take that personal. I mean, the defense is on him. He's the defensive coordinator, so he's got to try to find something that works. But, the other problem is his defense has been on the field the whole night. You got to get some offense going to give this defense a little rest.
30 points is the most they've given up this season. Not much running room there. Maybe a yard or two. Of course, U-High back-to-back Division II state champs. Beat De La Salle and Julian Gums in 2017, 45-19. And then one of the best teams the state has ever seen defeated St. Thomas More 55-46, but they had to replace 17 starters from that team last year. And the amount of talent that went on to play college football, unreal off that 2018 championship team. 2nd down and 8. Rolling out. Chriss with Roy trying to get to him, and Chriss will just get out of bounds. Like a Davey, a friendly push out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a big stop there, because now it's going to be a 3rd and long. He probably lost 3 or 4 yards on that play there. So here is the opportunity for U-High, and I think if you can give up minimal yards here, the Chargers are likely to punt the football back to you. But I think if you give this a 4th and 4 or 5 situation to Madison Prep, they may try to go for the jugular.
See if U-High decides to play coverage or bring a little extra pressure on Zeon. They rush 5, including Davey. Chriss on the run again. Chriss will now throw at the last minute, intercepted. Great break on the ball by Brock Slayton. And that's his first interception of the season and a much-needed turnover for the Cubs.
That's what they needed there. And when you get some pressure on Chriss, you can potentially force some of these things, and they really haven't been able to make him uncomfortable tonight. But here they do. But watch, too, his receiver, the receiver he's trying to get it into falls down. You can see right there, 23, he was trying to throw it in there, and the receiver falls down, and just no place for him to go with the football.
5th interception thrown by Chriss, and he took a good hit there at the end. A remember me hit by Jaden Osbury, the freshman linebacker. So let's see if U-High can take advantage of our second turnover of the game. Each team now has committed one turnover. Lawson with Ross in motion. Going deep is Lawson. Has his man and he missed him. Trevor Evans.
Boy, Evans was running by himself and just couldn't sit in there and deliver an accurate throw. And Lawson just a little bit off tonight. You can see here, and really no reason he couldn't throw that in there. There's a little bit of pressure, but got to stay in there and just, you know, that's the one you need to get yourself right back in this game.
2nd and 10. Madison Prep with that press coverage defensively. Swing, pass, Graham can't make a guy miss. Gets what he can. As he was tackled by the Chargers' Derek Parker. Another 3rd down for U-High, and they haven't had many 3rd and shorts, I'll say that. This is about as short as they've been, though. 3rd down and 6. Most of them are 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11. They had 1 3rd down conversion. That was the 3rd and 1 that they ran the quarterback sneak with. Nearly intercepted there. Great break on the ball by Joe Williams. No flags, and down on the ground is Trevor Evans.
You mentioned press coverage and just breaking to the football. Getting a timeout to come out and check on Evans, but you know, we see him make great plays on the offensive side of the field, but the same trio makes great plays on the defensive side, and that was a tremendous play by Williams getting a hand in there.
Madison Prep and U-High came into this contest both undefeated in District 7 3A. And there's a look at your standings. Baker, what a turnaround there with Coach Eric Randall. Parkview Baptist got off to that disastrous start against Catholic High.
They've cleaned it up a little bit.
They have. West Feliciana starting to play a little bit better.
We saw them earlier this year.
Mentorship Academy, Brule, and Glen Oaks. But these are the 2 best in this district and 2 of the best teams in this area. Madison Prep went to the state championship game in 2016. They finished as a runner-up.
And U-High has a decision to make here. Looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field. Let's see. Here's the last play, and you'll see. Trying to get in there, Evans, and Williams comes across right there. And, you know, couldn't tell if he was necessarily early, but obviously no flag on the play.
4th down and 6. Is this just, I don't think that, even if it was an offsides, it wouldn't be a 1st down, so.
But maybe if they think at 4th and 1, they really would go for it. Yeah,
yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. Yep. But as much as you don't want to punt the football, at the same time, Jeff, you can't give Madison Prep the football again right here at midfield.
Timeout U-High. 2:05 to go. And again, the rain has held off here tonight. It's not a bad night.
No, and I mean, as much rain as we got in this area, the amazing how this field was able to drain so well. And you see little turf chunks, but it could be worse. I mean, this field has really held up well.
See some of the U-High fans not used to this, Jason.
No, they are not. This is new. And you see McKernan up there still at the game there. His son was the quarterback, and he's up there in the top left next to the.
Is he directed traffic?
It looked like he is, you know. But that's good to see him still coming out and so supporting the program. And you know, his son now is dressed out at quarterback for LSU.
Wills Melton, the punter, just got it off. Not bad. This is going to work out really well unless Joe Williams picks it up and makes a play. And he's capable of doing it. Galloping across the 30-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Boy, these guys are just electric, man. And you
37-yard punt, but a nice return, giving the Chargers a chance here before halftime. A 25-yard return by Mr. Williams.
Just the speed, the talent, And he doesn't see any defender close by, so yeah, why not? Let me try to field it, give my quarterback, our offense, a better chance here. And you can see there, just getting to the outside, steps out, that white tape there.
So from the 40-yard line, and Madison Prep has one timeout to work with.
This time you had a little bit more press coverage in a cover 2.
A rare run there for Madison Prep, as that is Roy Davis. Clock rolling, but still nice pickup on first down. Gets him 6 yards.
Yeah, not a bad idea. You know, U-High is going to be worried about the passing threat with 1:30 left to go, so trying to see if you can break one off on the ground.
Chriss delivering a deep ball. Oh, just past the outstretched hands of Major Burns.
Boy, Major Burns, you talk about burning. He just blew by the defensive back there, and pretty good toss there by Chriss, just a little bit too far, but you can see here, he just, on the outside, he just turned on another gear right there and created some separation, but ball just a little.
Just a tough assignment for the freshman cornerback, Jeremiah Vessel. They've picked on him quite a bit. The other cornerbacks, Cameron Dorsey, he's a senior. They go back in that direction, and it's complete. Vessel comes up and makes a nice tackle on Joe Williams. Stops him shy of the first down marker, 4th and 1.
Well, and that's why you can't give too much space. I know you're worried about, but you got to allow your safeties to get over and help. See, where he was playing earlier, that would have been an easy pitch and catch and pick up by Williams in a first down, but Lawrence playing a little bit more press there, and that way you can take away some of that underneath stuff.
4th down and 1.
Clock rolling here, taking a little bit of time, down to 30 seconds. I guess.
Call timeout.
Yeah, I mean, there was actually no intent there to run a play. I think they were concerned again about giving the ball back to U-High at midfield and giving them a shot before the half. So, you know, you're up by 20 points, and Coach Williams saying, I'm going to play it conservative before the half.
So they end up taking the delay a game.
Yeah, they just want to take as much time. When you know you're not going to go for it, whole idea there is just take as much time off the clock as you can before you punt it. And with the punt and everything else, you're trying to leave U-High with somewhere about 10 or 12 seconds on the clock there. Looks like they're going to try to bring the house again. Main thing is just getting the ball off.
Uh-oh, they came after it, but McKnight got it off. And falling on it is Trevor Evans. 41-yard punt from McKnight. And U-High's got 2 timeouts, but a long way to go.
Yeah, and you have to be careful. We saw U-High commit 1 turnover down here that led to a touchdown. So you got 11 seconds. You know, Coach Martin might say, hey, look, let's just get out of this half. It's been a nightmarish half. And let's get to the locker room and let's try to regroup. But they've got Tanner Lawson in the shotgun.
Play it safe here with Derek Graham. One of the better offensive plays of the night for U-High.
Well, when you run the ball and they're in a prevent.
I think U-High looked like they wanted to try to call a timeout. Maybe.
I don't know if they got it in. Yeah, they did. They stopped it. They stopped it. So you'll have 4 seconds left. So the U-High guys huddled up there, and I think they're trying to figure out, hey, what should we do here with 4 seconds? You know, you want to take a shot, but at the same time, you want to try to take a safe shot if possible, because one thing you know, the people that if you throw it deep, Jeff, the defensive backs that are going to be back there are those skilled guys that play wide receiver. So if they pick one off, they can return it on you before you blink. So let's see what they draw up here. Tell you what, Madison Prep is not playing prevent here. They're a normal defense.
Well, Graham on another carry, and that will end our first half. A dominating first half for the Chargers, shutting out the University High Cubs 20-0 in this battle for first place in District 7 3A. Zeon Chriss was crisp. That was one of our keys to this one. He needed to be on the money, and he has been. 28 touchdown passes now on the season after 3 more tonight. Send it down to the field, and Kate Adams.
Coach Williams, your offense got 20 points on the board so far. Chris is doing a great job other than that interception with about 3 minutes left to go. Tell me what you've liked that you've seen from your offense so far.
Well, I'm proud of where the guys are executing our plays right now. We're playing real hard, and we're playing real well on defense as well. We just can't turn the ball over. We know this game's not over by a long shot. The state champions, former state champions, so they ain't gonna go anywhere. We just got to keep working, stay solid with our discipline, and execute our plays. We should be fine.
We'll talk about your defense. An incredible job so far in tonight's game. No points for University High right now. I mean, what is your defense doing that's going right?
Well, we're just flying to the ball. Everybody's carrying out their responsibility and carrying out their D-line integrity. So we continue to do that, And we probably can't shut them down forever, Well, we're going to continue to play solid defense and, hopefully we can win this thing at the end.
Well, 2 more quarters left to go, so thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Jeff?
Thanks a lot, Kate. As we have been able to avoid the raindrops here tonight, but the Chargers, a thunderous first half with some big hits on these U-High Cubs. They lead it 20-0 at halftime.
Game Time Halftime is brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America. Gary Lewis Property. From apartments, condominiums, and townhomes, Gary Lewis Properties is a top provider in Baton Rouge of residential and commercial property for rent. Monogram Express. We make ordinary gifts extraordinary. And by Louisiana Lift. And Louisiana Lift, we're always on call. Check out yourview.com for in-depth high school football coverage.
Well, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even bend over. I didn't want to resort to pain pills, so I chose Peak, hoping they could relieve the pain. They got me active again. I even lost weight. I believe in better. I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
We're here at Podna's Barbecue, Louisiana's best barbecue. I've got the owner, Gerald Hopper, and you've got mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone ribs.
Well, they're slow cooked, I can tell you that.
Perfect for game day. It's our tailgate spread. Half slab of ribs, 2 halves of chicken, and 2 pints of sides with Texas toast and barbecue sauce, all for $24.85. With fast service, dine-in, or takeout, and 2 great locations, Florida at Don Moore and Sherwood Forest at I-12.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is, for a better life. And we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
I spent years suffering from knee pain, so I decided to have replacement surgery. My doctor did a great job, and he allowed me to choose Peak for my PT. I should have done this a long time ago. I'm so glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time League standings are brought to you by Visit Baton Rouge. It's not just the capital city, it's the hub of all things Louisiana. Find out more about all the Red Stick has to offer at visitbatonrouge.com.
I've got Brandy Smith from Madison Prep and Scott Harris from University High. I'm going to go ahead and start with Brandy. Brandy, tell me what classes you teach at Madison Prep.
I teach 10th grade ELA.
Well, earlier you were telling me there's some fun activities and different projects you do with your students. Will you tell me about some of those?
Yeah, so right now we just finished reading a short story called Sweat by Zora Neale Hurston, and the children have to participate in the mock trial. So right now, this week, well, next week, they're going to do the mock trial, but this week they actually prepared for it. So they had to create an argument to show if one of the characters is guilty or innocent in the story.
Well, that's definitely a challenging activity for those young kids, but also making it kind of realistic. So I love that. Congratulations, Brandy, on being Teacher of the Week. Going to move now to Scott Harris from University High. Scott, what classes do you teach at University High?
I teach French 8th through 12th grade.
Well, I can't speak French, but do you get to go on any trips with your students and anything with a French influence?
Oh, well, yeah, periodically we'll make little trips abroad, you know, and take the kids. In fact, I went with a group last year to celebrate the D-Day, to come for the D-Day commemoration on Normandy Beach, which was a treat for everybody who was able to attend.
Well, definitely an awesome experience to get to do that. Any tips when they're learning to get that French accent?
Start as early as you can.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations, Scott Harris, and to Brandy Smith, both of our Teacher of the Week this week. And thank you to Crown Trophy for providing these plaques. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Kate. And now it's time to hear from one of our great sponsors, the Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Hi, my name is Jared Surrett. I work out of Lafayette Parish Farm Bureau office. I've been there for 20 years now. One thing I like about working with Farm Bureau is that we get to give back to the people. We live here, we work here, we play here, we're accessible to our clients. One of the things I love to do is give up my time and do things like coaching my little boy's soccer team and to help the kids and the parents. It's really fun, it's really awesome. The parents are always great. We had them kicking the balls around the cones. We had certain little drills that we did, kicking the balls in the goal. Of course, they always love to take water breaks and things like that, and they especially love getting snacks at the end of practice. Real service, real people, it's exactly what it sounds like. All of my clients and insurers have my cell phone number. I have to be accessible. They can always get in touch with me, and I welcome it. I'm always ready to help anybody that needs to, no matter what time of day or night it is. I love being a part of the community, and giving back like this is.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome to Monogram Express, a unique embroidery boutique specializing in personalized and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. Gifts for babies, children, ladies, and even men, we have you covered. Equipped with state-of-the-art embroidery machines, along with an experienced client-focused staff serving you 6 days a week. Check out the area's largest selection of letters, designs, and thread colors. We're your one-stop embroidery shop, handling personal, corporate, team, and school logos, and you're welcome to bring in your own items. Conveniently located at 2109 Veterans. Monogram Express makes your ordinary gifts extraordinary.
Hi, we are live with the PPTV network, where one of the top athletes is about to make his important decision. We know his character, and nothing will hold him back.
I'm glad to have my family and friends here for this choice. It's more than my career. It will affect the rest of my life. I choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The decision is in. Why choose Peak?
Their reputation and their record of success is unmatched.
When it matters most, another patient chooses Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak, and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Back at LSU, home field for the University High Cubs, who are trailing Madison Prep 20-0. Send it back down to Kate Adams, who has our Scholars of the Week.
Well, I've got both the Scholars of the Week, Shalisa Cominger from Madison Prep and Jack Morin from University High. Going to start with Shalisa. Shalisa, you're a cheerleader. You've had such a great time over at Madison Prep, but what are your college plans?
I plan on going to the University of Louisiana at Lafayette to major in nursing. I want to be a pediatrician.
Well, that's awesome. So congratulations and thank you for all your hard work in the classroom. I'm going to move on to Jack. Jack has actually been at University High since kindergarten. Is that right? And so I need to know, after all of these years, what is your favorite memory?
Oh, on the spot. That's tough. I'm sorry. Sophomore year, I won the state cross country meet, so I guess that. But that has a lot less to do with the school. Yeah, sorry.
Well, you're here tonight, so we know that you're an awesome student, and getting to experience something like a state championship is an amazing thing. Thank you so much, guys, and congratulations to both of our Scholar of the Week, and thank you to Crown Trophy for providing their plaques. Back to you.
Now, time to find out more from one of our great sponsors, Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Hey everybody, my name is Josiah Eastman and I'm a physical therapist with Peak Performance out at our Dutchtown location. Today I want to talk a little bit about a functional movement screen that we do to assess our patients' mobility and flexibility. We're going to do the overhead deep squat today because it gives us a good assessment of mobility at the ankle, the knee, the hips, the thoracic spine, and the shoulder, as well as core stability. So I'm going to have Jonah step in here and help me out. So we're going to take the dowel rod and raise it up overhead. From here, I'm going to have him squat down as low as he can go. And I'm looking at, are his feet flat on the ground? Is his shin and trunk parallel? And is the bar up over his head? We're going to stand up from here, turn and face front, and we're going to come down in this position again. Now from this angle, I'm looking at knees directly over his feet. Is he centered in between his feet? And is the bar parallel to the ground? Come on up. Thank you, Joan. So again, that's an example of the overhead deep squat that we use to assess our mobility. If you have problems with this exercise and are unable to do it, it doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong. But if you have pain with it or intend to participate in an exercise regimen coming up, we recommend that you come in, get evaluated by myself or one of the therapists at our other clinic, and we can put together a program to help you achieve your goals and make you more safe.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is, for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
We're here at Podna's Barbecue, Louisiana's best barbecue. I've got the owner, Gerald Hopper, and you've got mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone ribs.
Well, they're slow cooked, I can tell you that.
Perfect for game day. It's our tailgate spread. Half slab of ribs, 2 halves of chicken, and 2 pints of sides with Texas toast and barbecue sauce, all for $24.85. With fast service, dine-in or takeout, and 2 great locations, Florida at Don Moore and Sherwood Forest at I-12.
Attention to detail makes the world go round. At Baker Printing, our approach to the printing business is very simple. Treat it as if it were your own. That's not always an easy job, but it comes from the top down in our company. We thrive on the unique jobs. Bottom line, we take care of our customers' projects as if they were our very own. At Baker Printing, attention to detail makes our world go round.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
That place will be jumping tomorrow afternoon when second-ranked LSU faces ninth-ranked Auburn. 2:30 kickoff here across the street over at Jeff Baugh's Field. It is 20-0. Madison Prep leading University High, the two-time defending champs in Division II. They have run into a buzzsaw here tonight.
Yeah, not used to seeing this on a U-High field, and I tell you what, we said Zeon Chriss needed to be crisp. He was crisp in the first half and throwing for a couple of touchdowns. That offense is really clicking. Skilled players are making plays, and then for U-High, man, they just can't get the offense going.
No.
You know, Lawson has not looked very good and, you know, tried to get a little bit of the running game. That hasn't worked, and so that U-High defense has really been on the field all night.
And you got to give a lot of credit to Madison Prep's defense. They are flying on this football field all over the place. Let's take a look at our first half highlights. As you mentioned, Zeon Chriss was crisp. He threw 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers. That is a beautiful ball over the middle to Malik Palmer to get the scoring drive or scoring started. Missed field goal here after UI drove, and then Chris back at it wide open is Joe Williams for that easy score. It was 13-0. Then the fumble, and that set up the 3rd touchdown pass of the night. Chris connecting with Tyrell Raby. 20-0 there. One of the few bright spots for U-High is this interception coming up from Brock Slayton. But despite that good field position for the Cubs, they couldn't do anything with it. Just 96 yards of total offense, and the 3rd down conversions, just 1 of 8, Jason. I made mention of it in the first half. A lot of 3rd and longs here tonight.
Yeah, and you know, when you look at the differential in yards, it may be a little deceiving because Madison Prep has had some short fields.
We'll take a break. Second half kickoff when we come back on Your View.
This throbbing neck pain was so bad it moved to my shoulders and was causing severe headaches. Then a friend suggested I choose Peak. 2 weeks later, the pain was completely gone. So glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
We're here at Podna's Barbecue, Louisiana's best barbecue. I've got the owner, Gerald Hopper, and you've got mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone ribs.
Well, they're slow cooked, I can tell you that.
Perfect for game day. It's our tailgate spread. Half slab of ribs, 2 halves of chicken, and 2 pints of sides with Texas toast and barbecue sauce, all for $24.85. With fast service, dine in or take out, and 2 great locations, Florida Donmore and Sherwood Forest at I-12.
Do you need to say great job, congratulations, or way to go? Crown Trophy on Sherwood Forest Boulevard in Baton Rouge has the trophy, plaque, acrylic, or crystal award you're looking for. Whether it's for your team, business, or church, come to Crown Trophy. We guarantee the highest level of customer service, and there's no charge for rush orders or trophy engraving. We're nationally known and locally owned. Visit us online to view our catalog at www.crowntrophy.com.
My shoulder pain got so bad I couldn't lift anything overhead. So I chose Peak Performance, and I can't believe how much better I am now. Peak really does get you back into the game of life. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Ready to serve you with auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people.
20-0, Madison Prep leading University High. As we are set to begin the second half, the Chargers will get the football. And let's send it quickly down to the field and Kate Adams.
Well, I had a chance to catch up with Coach Martin at the half. Basically asked him what he told his Cubs. He said they need to keep playing the game and stay in the game. They had a couple of bad breaks in that first half, but they can recover from this. He said 20 points is nothing. We're going to come back strong in the second half. Guys.
We'll see. Roman Petrie has it teed up. I told you, Jason, this might be a time to go for an onside kick. Madison Prep is ready for it. Instead, they kick it, a squib kick. And it's going to be collected at the 13-yard line. And this is going to be a nice return. This is going to be a great return. Off to the races is Roy Davis all the way to the 16-yard line. The second half could not get off to more of a worse start for U-High, and what a great start for the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, this is not how you want to open up if you're U-High. You try to squib it to keep it away from some of those skilled players that can take it to the house, but you know what? Davis picks it up and says, it's my turn, and he gets into the open field. Thankfully for Josh Slaughter back there, who's got speed for U-High, he's able to run him down, but but for Slaughter, that ball would have been in the end zone.
71-yard return, and right back at it inside the red zone here for Madison Prep on their first possession of the second half. Chriss checks with the sidelines. Getting underneath center here, a little I formation, some old school football as they run the toss. And a nice cut, and then running hard inside the 10-yard line for Madison Prep. That's Benjamin Stewart, a junior running back, getting a chance to carry the football, and he unfortunately comes off the field limping.
Yeah, I don't want to see that, but I tell you what, Madison Prep played that whole first half with high energy and intensity, and I tell you what, they opened it up this half same way. Let's see if we can see where the injury may have come in there. You see he held his ankle there, and I don't know if that was a part of it.
Davis nearly fumbled that football, collects it, tries to get the edge, and is taken out of bounds at about the 2 or 3 yard line. Davis 3 touchdown runs on the season.
Well, showing you a little bit of I formation, running the football out of the eyes. You can see there, as you mentioned, Davis almost lost that football, but able to get down to about the 4 yard line, maybe the 3.5.
Madison Prep had 23 yards rushing in the first half. First and goal, and there's some movement. I think that was Malik Palmer who was running his route before the ball was snapped. And that will result in him going to the sidelines.
False start.
Those
offense. Still first down.
Those are just the plays that just drive coaches crazy. If it's a yard or 2 to go for a touchdown or a first down, and then you commit that infraction there, it just backs you up. And sometimes it'll result in a field goal or not a touchdown.
Steady rainfall now beginning. Chriss from behind gets sacked. They needed that to the Cubs. That is Andre Van Merenboer. Big sack there for that young man, his second of the season. And now it's second and goal, and it's beyond the 10-yard line.
Well, you see number 7 comes untouched, and before Chriss could start using his wheels, Vermonboer able to get in there and make the sack. And again, it all starts with that penalty. That's why it drives coaches crazy.
They run the fade to the corner of the end zone and was knocked away. What a defensive play by Cameron Dorsey.
Well, Burns had his paws on that, and that is a good play by Dorsey.
3 interceptions on the season for Dorsey, 5 PBUs, make it 6. This kid didn't play much last year to Dorsey.
Watch him go in and knock the ball out. See, that's a touchdown until that paw comes in there by Dorsey and knocks it away. That's a huge play there.
3rd and goal from the 13.
And remember, they were at the 3-yard line, and now they're at the 13.
Chriss 7 of 13 for 110 yards. U-High showing blitz. Here comes Micah David. They swing it out. Can Davis get there? Davis gets tripped up. Nice defensive play again by Dorsey.
Yeah, and you're going to have to settle for a field goal. That's why Malik Palmer's probably hiding out somewhere. Remember, this drive, they got it down to the 3-yard line, and then a penalty, and everything started going backwards. You see the little safety valve checking it down there to Davis, and U-High was ready for that. And that's a good job by this U-High Cubs defense. After giving up a long return, Madison Prep has the momentum. Holding them to just 3 points is a big hold here.
McKnight has missed an extra point, but he is a capable field goal kicker. This will be from 25 yards out. He can make them from 40. and it's blocked. Roy got in there and stuffed it. And then U-High falls on it, and is that the spark the Cubs needed?
Well, it could be. You're looking for positive plays there, and is that the kicker down?
Boy,
yeah.
McKnight has had about as rough of a night as I've ever seen a kicker/punter have. He's been hit numerous times tonight. Jaquilin Roy, I don't think they blocked him, or if they did, it wasn't a very good effort, because he just comes smashing through. A little agility there by the big man.
Yeah, he got all of that one.
Oh, boy, do they need him to make a play. That's what an All-American does right there. When your team really needs something.
Gee.
And he blocked it with his face mask, I believe.
Trying to see where McKnight gets tripped up there. He's out of the screen. But, yeah, big-time play by Roy. Coming through there, pretty clean, and really no shot at getting that field goal off.
And now U-High's got decent field position because that ball went bouncing away. Good to see this. McKnight jogging off the field, but that right arm doesn't look like it's very mobile at this moment.
Yeah, maybe fell on it wrong or something there, but this could be a momentum changer. You mentioned it, Jeff. Sometimes in games it takes just little things. Obviously, the big kickoff return, you keep them out of the end zone, off the board. Now let's see if U-High can get this offense going.
Lucas Peters again, the offensive coordinator from San Antonio. He's coached on the college level at Texas State. They run a few yards there for Derek Graham. Graham had 45 yards rushing in the first half, but 33 of those yards came on those final 2 carries during garbage time. And we mentioned it earlier, Tanner Lawson had a rough first half, 4 of 13 for 53 yards. Can he turn it around right here? 2nd down and 7. Back to the ground again.
Yeah, this is what I'd like to see here. I mentioned this, and normally in the first half we'd see him go to Graham and then they'd go 2 pass plays. Here, consecutive rushing yards to Graham, and I just think if you can get this guy going here, it's going to open up that passing game.
Now a little up-tempo for U-High. This play really never got going. And when you run up-tempo, the idea is to have the other team on its heels. That time it looked like U-High wasn't really ready for it. Graham, no gain on that carry.
Well, it's the first time, and U-High likes to run up-tempo, but it's the first time they could really get into it because they had a successful offensive play. But if they can get a rhythm going, you will see them move quickly and try to get plays off quickly.
2nd and 10. Austin Osbury in motion. Here comes the pressure. Picked up nicely by U-High. Bad pass, though, to Keelan Ross. And here we go again. 3rd down and 10. This has been the story for U-High.
And some of these throws by Lawson, they just don't have a chance. I mean, this thing is one hopping in there on the slant. And, you know, I don't know if he's injured or something maybe tweaked, but, you know, he's just not sitting back there with a bunch of confidence and completing passes, and you have to have that in this rhythm type offense that U-High has.
Here he goes. He'll throw it, and they've been able to connect on this before. Austin Osbury, though, tackled before he's able to pick up the 1st down. Morgan Patton, Nylan Jones converge on the tackle. 4th down. U-High has to go for it. Down by 20.
They'll go for it, and we saw Osbury earlier on a crossing route able to, you see him lined up in that tight end position, a position they're using more now with this offense and new offensive coordinator.
Bunch formation to the near side. Critical 4th and 4 for the Cubs. Right up the middle, nowhere. Great job by Madison Prep's defense. They shut down Graham again. Nylan Jones looked like one of the guys there defensively, along with that young man as well. Jamarcus Brown, a linebacker for Madison Prep.
Wow, 4th and 4, you keep it on the ground.
And that means Madison Prep will get the football back. But first, we're going to take a break. 7:51 to go before the 3rd quarter ends.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life. And we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Been a good night for Madison Prep and their head coach, Landry Williams. Let's send it on to the field. Kate Adams has a special guest.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm actually not right next to the cameraman, but I do have Jason Green. He's one of the owners of Peak Performance, and his brother, Craig Green, here with me, who's the orthopedic surgeon at Baton Rouge Orthopedic Center. So I just want to talk a little bit about the service you guys provide for the high schools in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah, it's a real pleasure to be out here. We've been covering high school sports for many, many years and partnering with Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic and other groups. And so we have about 8 or 9 high schools in the local area. We have physical therapists out there. We work with the athletic trainers to get these kids back on the field safely and quickly as possible. It's very good having physician support here. As you know, injuries are part of the game, and with their expertise, it really helps having them here. Plus, I get to hang out with my brother. It's always fun.
Well, that is really neat that you guys are brothers and work in the same field. Tell me about a crazy surgery, or the craziest one you've ever done as an orthopedic surgeon.
Well, the common things are common. I had 2 from our team just this week, a broken collarbone, a broken ankle. I've had a broken acetabulum, which is the hip socket. I've had one patient athlete that had transient quadriplegia, so he got hit and couldn't move everything. And that's why it's good to have emergency personnel. But between orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, and the excellent training staff, we hope to have it covered. We also extended our clinic hours. We have an after hours where anybody that gets hurt in the area can go to our after hours, where doctors on Friday nights, a sports clinic, and they get treated there. As well, we have after hours each week till about 10 o'clock, and weekends. So there's so many athletics going on, from pee-wee football to soccer. There are a lot of injuries, and we have a lot of doctors. We cover probably 30 high schools in the area. And with the therapists, we have everybody has a presence on all the teams. We even try to look after the teams on the other side that may be from out of state or somewhere out of town. So it's a good team.
Well, the safety of athletes is so important. Thank you for athletics training, rehabilitation, orthopedic surgery. Thank you guys so much for your services. Back to you guys.
All right, first and goal is Madison Prep on another nice drive. Nice run by Zeon Chriss there. And how about the double pass to begin the drive?
Yeah, they're marching right back down the field. They had several good plays there. And take a look at the replay here with Chriss. And again, just so mobile. And when it's not there, able to use his legs. And he's been trouble all night.
First and goal at the 1. Rain starting to come down even harder now. Quarterback sneak for Chriss. Did he get in?
Didn't look like they got much penetration there. I don't see a signal. And tried to catch him with the sneak.
And he did not get in. So second and goal here for Madison Prep. And now there's a flag there. Remember the last time they got down inside the red zone, they committed a penalty, and that prevented them from scoring.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's a personal foul, you're talking 15 yards, and that really puts them back. If it is against Madison Prep, let's see what the call is. This could be critical, as U-High really has to keep them out of the end zone.
Rain really coming down now, Jason, which will make it even more difficult
Dead
for
ball.
U-High.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. It's going to be third down.
Yeah, and it's after the play, so that means third and goal?
Yeah, that really gives U High new life, because remember last time they had a penalty.
Second and goal. Should be second and goal. He said third.
Yeah, I think it's second. Had a penalty down there. They came up with the blocked field goal, and here.
So now the ball at the 16-yard line for Chriss, who's got 3 touchdown passes. A little bit more underneath the center here. Also looking to try to run a little clock. And some tight coverage, and it's knocked away. Good coverage once again by Cameron Dorsey.
Trying to get it in there, Palmer, who's got a touchdown on the night already, and again, tried to sneak it in between 2 defenders. He's got his hands on it, but the safety was able to come over and ensure that he didn't get a completion there. But again, good coverage by Dorsey. He's been pretty good tonight.
3rd and goal at the 16. Chriss surveying the defense. U High brings the blitz. Chriss gets hit, throws. Well, all underthrown, and Chriss ended up on his backside, and I think we'll see another field goal try.
Yeah, another real opportunity again for U High. This is not a chip shot here. And you can see trying to get it over there to Major Burns, and just, that's Dorsey there, unable to get anything on the football.
TJ Nightshed put Chriss on his backside. So we will see Marquise McKnight with another field goal try. His last one was blocked. Let's see if they do a better job on Jaquilin Roy. This is a 34-yard try. Rain falling. Not much wind. No wind at all, really, to speak of.
Same hash as earlier.
Roy nearly got that one, but he blasted through the, oh, he missed it. Wide left.
Wow.
Thought he got that one through the uprights.
Yeah. It's hard to tell from that vantage point, but he definitely cranked it.
Well, Ed Orgeron watching Jaquilin Roy block field goals might be saying, you know what? Look, same move as last time.
Yeah.
Just, he took one little extra step, and that's why he didn't get.
Well, but he also disrupted the kicker. You could see there, hey, and trying to kick it on the outside of Jaquilin Roy coming through probably is what caused him to tug that ball a little bit and miss wide left. But he's definitely disrupted 2 field goals tonight. And really, with all of that damage that Prep has done in the second half, they haven't put any points on the board.
Man, 2 drives inside the 10-yard line, and you come away with 0. Christian Ard into the football game now as the quarterback, and he connects with Trevor Evans. And I wonder if we'll see Christian Ard for the rest of the time, or at least a little bit more in this drive.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain of that, because you just haven't been able to move the ball, and I think this is just maybe trying to add a spark, a little change of pace here. And you see they're able to get in there and get a completion.
Ard coming into this game, 8 of 17 for 47 yards throwing. That was his second pass attempt of the night. And they run for a few yards there. But yeah, the transfer out of Livingston Parish. Be 2nd down and 7 after the 3-yard run. And we talked about the struggles of Tanner Lawson, but he didn't get a lot of help with his running game to help complement him here tonight. And there's a fumble on the ground, and the Chargers have it.
Oh, my goodness. Boy, just when you think you got a little spark, and I'll tell you what.
Major Burns on the recovery.
Graham never got his paws completely around his football. Watch, it's never in there.
It's never
from the beginning.
Never in Ard's hands either.
Yeah.
There's the wet football.
And man, oh man, this has just been a nightmarish game for the Cubs. I mean, really, the hiccups, nothing go right. We've even seen on kickoff returns, you know, kind of fighting over the ball back there. Just nothing, whether it's special teams or offense, it just hasn't been clean.
Turnover belt is out at the 36-yard line. So I guess Major Burns says, you know what, I don't want to play offensively here because I got to wear the belt a little bit.
Yeah.
So Joe Williams on the jet sweep. Nice job by Cameron Dorsey. Another nice defensive play for the Cubs cornerback.
Yeah, Dorsey, I mean, he looks solid over there, and he'll come up, he'll make tackles. He's been good in coverage tonight. He's a good-looking football player.
Not the biggest guy, 5'8", 165 pounds, but Zeon Chriss, great kid, according to head coach Landry Williams. He's had some big games this season. Threw for 4 touchdowns and a win over Bruley. He's thrown for 3 here tonight. Escapes Davey. Now on the run, and he throws a dart between 3 defenders, and a nice catch by Malik Palmer, who has one of those 3 touchdown catches.
And I'm going to tell you who he reminds me a little bit of, Zeon Chriss, is Keelan Brown at Zachary. You know, kind of the same stature, got a lot of zip on the ball. And, you know, Keelan Brown played young, too, as a freshman and sophomore. And you see there another delivery there into Palmer. Just extending the play and making something happen.
And now Chris will run it. I think Keelan Brown is a better runner.
Yeah, he's a more physical runner and probably has a little bit faster.
I got another comparison for you, but first let me tell you this. Don't miss any of the action this season. Go to yourview.com/football and sign up for the Game Time newsletter to get the previous week's highlights, stories, and recruiting news, along with a preview of the upcoming week's matchups delivered straight to your inbox. Swinging out to the near side, Joe Williams. Staying on his feet as long as possible as he's finally brought down at the 14. You ready for this comparison? I don't think you saw him play high school football. Maybe he did.
What you got?
Jordan Jefferson is who he was.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, he was taller, a little bit, but, man, he slung it.
Yes. And remember, Chris is just a sophomore. So where is he at 2 years from now?
Yeah.
Has he got another inch or two in him as a sophomore?
Yeah, Jordan Jefferson, he threw it, played in the spread, but, of course, he got here. We decided we were going to make him a pocket pass. So.
Are you angry? Are you
just all the talent that has come through here? I mean, could you imagine him playing in this? I think you get a different quarterback. You know.
Yeah. Brandon Harris, maybe the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've had, the Jarvis Landrys and Beckhams, and I mean, those guys got to be like, I want my 4 years over again. Yeah.
First and goal at the 10. Madison Prep. All right, this is a third try in the not only just in the red zone, but inside the 10-yard line. In the first 2 trips in this half, they've come away empty-handed. Penalties have been the big problem once they get it inside the 10.
Well, they're not in a rush because they're just trying to milk some of the clock here.
U-High bringing the all-out blitz, and somehow Chris got rid of it. And he's lucky it wasn't an interception. Jamarcus Brown was the intended receiver, but dangerous play there. But still, at least Chris got rid of it.
Yeah, and towards a receiver there while he was within the tackle box and able to get it out towards his running back. Almost pulled off a completion there. But, again, I think that's sort of the calmness that the coach likes about Chris.
U-High has brought a lot more pressure in the second half. They've had to gamble down 20-0. Davis, the tailback, and the second and goal at the 10. Incomplete. A lot of shoving, hand contact. But Jeremiah Vessel, the freshman, who's had to grow up a lot here tonight, had good coverage.
Well, and you're seeing a lot more of these fade routes for 2 reasons. One, as you mentioned, Jeff, they're bringing pressure. But 2, U-High's playing more press coverage. And so you're not seeing the underneath stuff because U-High's taking it away and saying, hey, look, if you beat me over the top, okay. But we're not gonna just let your receivers catch it clean and be able to run into space.
4 wide receivers. Still a lot of snaps from underneath center. Well, this time Chris will line up in the shotgun formation. Brown is the running back to his right, and then a slot receiver jumps.
That was Davis, the running back lined up in the slot.
Man, penalties have really hurt them.
Yeah, they're allergic to getting inside the 10-yard line, man.
Well, Madison Prep may win this game, but this will be a big teaching moment for head coach Landry Williams. You can't, if you want to get to where you want to get to, if you're Madison Prep, you can't afford to have this kind of penalties like you've had inside the 10.
Yeah, and you still got another quarter to play, and I know Coach Williams got to be like, well, look, we cannot make 3 trips inside the red zone, a couple of them inside the 5-yard line, and come up with no points.
Let's take a look at the 3A power ratings coming into tonight. We've already seen St. James, Sterlington, Laranger, and then there's Madison Prep at 4, Donaldsonville at 5. So Madison Prep would have a chance to be hosting at least all the way to the semifinals, but St. James Madison Prep would be a really good semifinal game.
That would be fun to watch.
Week 8 of the regular season. Throw to the corner of the end zone.
Oh,
what a great adjustment on the ball.
Wow.
Touchdown.
Wow.
Joe Williams.
That's incredible. You want to know why these receivers are so highly sought after? This was not the greatest of throws by Chriss. And just midair, he makes a heck of an adjustment and is able to snag this football. But he was open, but Chriss led him back to the inside. You saw that ball kind of floated on him and able to control the body and keep that foot in bounds. That's just an incredible play there by Williams.
Extra point coming up. Marquise McKnight. That one gets through the upright. 1:33 to go before the end of the third quarter. Zeon Chriss has thrown 4 touchdown passes, and Joe Williams has been outstanding.
We're here at Podna's Barbecue, Louisiana's best barbecue. I've got the owner, Gerald Hopper, and you've got mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone ribs.
Well, they're slow cooked, I can tell you that.
Perfect for game day. It's our tailgate spread. Half slab of ribs, 2 halves of chicken, and 2 pints of sides with Texas toast and barbecue sauce, all for $24.85. With fast service, dine-in or takeout, and 2 great locations, Florida Donmore and Sherwood Forest at I-12.
Welcome to Monogram Express, a unique embroidery boutique specializing in personalized and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. Gifts for babies, children, ladies, and even men, we have you covered. Equipped with state-of-the-art embroidery machines, along with an experienced client-focused staff serving you 6 days a week. Check out the area's largest selection of letters, designs, and thread colors. We're your one-stop embroidery shop, handling personal, corporate, team, and school logos, and you're welcome to bring in your own items. Conveniently located at 2109 Veterans. Monogram Express makes your ordinary gifts extraordinary.
Back as we are seeing a classic take them behind the woodshed kind of game tonight. Madison Prep all over U-High, 27-0 late in the third quarter. After the 4th touchdown pass of the night by Zeon Chriss, the second one that went to Joe Williams. And U-High just can't get anything done offensively. Big night for Joe Williams, 8 catches, 112 yards. 2 more touchdown catches on the season for him, gets him up to 10. Line drive kick taken at the 5. Nice return here from the Cubs' Josh Slaughter. Slaughter got it all the way up to the 41-yard line. Cubs on the verge of losing their 3rd game of the season. That was a 36-yard return. There you look at the ITI Technical College scoring drive. 3rd and goal from the 15, and they dial up that touchdown catch to Williams.
And it's not just that, it's the stamina of these guys, Burns and Williams and Raby, because they literally don't come off the field. I mean, they play offense, they play defense, and they played virtually every snap here tonight, and including some on special teams.
From the 41-yard line, run the football straight ahead. Not much happening for Keelan Ross. Send it down to the field and Kate Adams. Kate?
I was in the huddle with Coach Williams right before that touchdown, that beautiful touchdown catch by Williams. And look, basically he told his team, we've got to get the touchdown right now. And then they had the slogan, Rocket Right New Orleans. So they are definitely getting ready to hopefully take a trip to the Dome. Guys.
Incomplete pass. Landry Williams, a former Glen Oaks and Southern University player. He was a All-State player in high school in 1990. And then a few years later, at Southern, he was the MVP of the Bayou Classic in 1993. Played a little bit in the CFL with the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, there was a lot of talent to come out of that Glen Oaks class he was in. You know, you talk about Eric Randall and Gabe Northern and a lot of those guys. He played high school at Glen Oaks when that talent bid was really hot.
He's only the second coach ever football-wise for Madison Prep, as he replaced Mike Roach, who had a step down because of health-related issues. It was Coach Roach, whose son Malcolm plays for Texas.
I said he looked pretty healthy against LSU.
Yeah.
The son did, and he was a heck of a player. We covered Madison Prep when he was here.
Yeah, and Mike Roach was a class act guy. I hope he's doing well. Madison Prep was a runner-up in 2016. I believe they lost to LaRondre, if I have my facts straight on that one. Play is whistled dead. 38-yard punt. Well, game time on your view. Thanks, Louisiana Lift, for their support of this telecast, specializing in customer service on equipment, rentals, parts, and training. Louisiana Lift has been serving customers since 1980. Check them out online at lalift.com or call their Baton Rouge office, 753-5700. I think it was Logansport, not LaRondre. Yeah. It was an L.
Well, Jeff, I see you got the recruiting stuff open. We can't we can't break our streak. We got to find somebody who's going to the military academy. Okay, this would be the first game all season. I don't think we have somebody committed to one of the military academies.
Well, speaking of military commitment, Dylan Monette from Acadiana rushed for 384 yards last night in Acadiana's win over Sam Houston. Final score was like 81, 84, something like that. Acadiana scored 82-41 over Sam Houston.
384 yards. You know, it's hard to do that on Tecmo Bowl back in the day, and I mean, that is difficult to do.
But that score reminds me of what Acadiana did a few years ago to Parkway in the state championship game, where they scored 70-plus points, which is still a Prep Classic record.
I wonder how many carries. Do you know how many carries it was?
I don't know.
But that guy's got speed, so.
It was more than 4.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you. Yeah. We got 12 more minutes left to go here in a game that has been all Madison Prep. Despite some defense here lately from U High, it has been the Chargers who have been unbelievable tonight.
Well, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even bend over. I didn't want to resort to pain pills, so I chose Peak, hoping they could relieve the pain. They got me active again. I even lost weight. I believe in better. I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
We're here at Podna's Barbecue, Louisiana's best barbecue. I've got the owner, Gerald Hopper, and you've got mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone ribs.
Well, they're slow cooked, I can tell you that.
Perfect for game day. It's our tailgate spread. Half slab of ribs, 2 halves of chicken, and 2 pints of sides with Texas toast and barbecue sauce, all for $24.85. With fast service, dine-in, or takeout, and 2 great locations, Florida at Don Moore and Sherwood Forest at I-12.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
I spent years suffering from knee pain, so I decided to have replacement surgery. My doctor did a great job, and he allowed me to choose Peak for my PT. I should have done this a long time ago. I'm so glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tough night for the U High fans. Hopefully a better game tomorrow for the LSU Tigers. But this is going to sting a while. The last week 2, they got thumped by Neville. But the team kind of rallied behind that and really played Catholic High very good the next week despite losing. And then the Cubs came into this game with a 4-game winning streak. But the Chargers are about ready to extend their winning streak to 7 games after losing the season opener against Walker. On the carry was Roy Davis, but it is tough, Jason. We talked about how U High back-to-back champs in Division II, but when you look at the amount of talent that was on that team last year, Michael Hollins, who went to Virginia, John Gordon McKernan, who's a walk-on at LSU, Brighton Constantine, a linebacker, now at Clemson, Jordan Clark, who's at Arizona State, Micaiah Tung at Georgia, Christian Harris, who's starting at Alabama, Dylan Rathke at Arkansas, Donald Berniard, who's now at Army. And then they had some other guys as well, like Mark Capola, Will Safford, who's not playing this season. So it's just that's a lot of talent to just try to.
That's 5 years, 6 years worth of talent for some teams. I mean, that's all of that assembled on one team, and there's going to be some drop off.
That's why you look at that 2018 Cubs team, that goes down as one of the best high school football teams in the state.
Yes.
And they took on all comers. Remember, we did the game last year when they went to Zachary and beat them.
Didn't matter the size, division. That's right.
So it's obviously the quarterback play has not been good here tonight, but Madison Prep, you got to give them all the credit in the world. Defensively is how good they are on defense has really shocked me here tonight.
Well, and that's why I was thinking maybe U High would have went to the run game earlier. Their strength is covering receivers in the pass game. I mean, they're not overly big on that defensive line, but they've got speed, and they've got speed on the edges. They've got speed at the cornerback and the defensive back. When we talked to Coach Landry, he said, look, that's our strength. If people want to try to line up and throw the ball against us, I feel comfortable.
Chris on the carry. Just won't go down. Josh Slaughter, defensive back.
And it's going to be interesting. I mean, how Williams and Burns and Raby and some of these guys actually grade out. I mean, are they going to grade out more on the defensive back field side, or are they going to be, wide receivers? And in today's spread game, you don't have to be 6'3" or 6'4" to play wide receiver. You get in space and you can make plays.
Yeah, both of these guys, Williams and Burns, you're right. It'd be interesting to see where they may end up. Malik Palmer is a guy that I think could play at the next level. He's got good enough speed. 5'9". Tyrell Raby, La Tech, ULM, Raging Cajuns are some of the teams that are looking at, and he's just a junior, so he'll be back next season to work alongside with Zeon Chriss. Madison Prep calls a timeout with just under 9 minutes. This week on Your View's High School Football Recruiting Podcast, Over the Middle, biggest high school football game of the season. And it's a matchup recruiting fans across the country have been waiting all year for. Mater Dei versus number 2 St. John Bosco. Greg Biggins of 24/7 Sports and Fox Sports West has the call Friday night, and he will join Jeremy to break down the game. That also features a couple of top-ranked quarterbacks, one of them being Bryce Young, and there's more than 30 FBS recruits in that game. Jeremy also previews Owasso's road test Friday night against Mustang and how Bill Blankenship's squad is primed for a deep run in the Oklahoma State playoffs. Look at Andre Van Marenboer and the rest of this U-High defense. 30 points is the most they've given up this year. That was to Catholic High. Madison Prep will be punting it. Busy night for our main man, Marquise McKnight. Good punt once again.
Yeah, and he's fired up, I think mainly because he didn't hit the ground.
We'll take a break. 8:51 left to go. Madison Prep on its way to improving to 7-1.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America.
Hi, we are live with the PPTV network, where one of the top athletes is about to make his important decision. We know his character, and nothing will hold him back.
I'm glad to have my family and friends here for this choice. It's more than my career. It will affect the rest of my life. I choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The decision is in. Why choose Peak?
Their reputation and their record of success is unmatched.
When it matters most, another patient chooses Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time League standings are brought to you by Visit Baton Rouge. It's not just the capital city, it's the hub of all things Louisiana. Find out more about all the Red Stick has to offer at visitbatonrouge.com.
8:51 to go, and U-High down 27-0 with the football. They'll run it with Derek Graham, who gets upended. Great tackle by Major Burns.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, these guys are just so good on both sides of the football, and physical. You know, I mean, if you're a wide receiver and you're playing defensive back and willing to come up and hit somebody.
Another run off right side. Looks like U-High is just content to see if they can't get something going, running the football. Rashad Green's helmet came off, the Tulane commitment. He'll have to head to the sidelines for one play. Be interesting how U-High kind of picks up the pieces after this one.
Yeah.
They would have West Feliciana at home, and then really a tough regular season finale against Baker. It's not an automatic win against the Buffaloes anymore.
No, Eric Randall's done a good job building that program back up.
3rd and 3, and that is a good way to describe the passing attack tonight here for the Cubs. It has just not worked at all. Christian Ard has been playing for a majority of the second half, and he has not done much better than Tanner Lawson. And U-High will punt it away again. I think they've only converted like twice on 3rd down tonight. Just once? My goodness. Been that kind of night for Andy Martin.
Watch out, you got 3 returners back here.
And the ball will come dead at about the 42-yard line. Don't miss any of the action this season. Go to yourview.com/football and sign up for the Game Time newsletter to get the previous week's highlights, stories, and recruiting news, along with a preview of the upcoming week's matchups delivered straight to your inbox. That's at yourview.com/football. Madison Prep will finish up the season by hosting Parkview Baptist, and then they go on the road to take on West Feliciana. But they are in position to win the district crown. Their basketball team knows what it's like to win championships. They've won 5 in a row. Remember, Madison Prep earlier in this decade was a Class B school.
Right.
And here they are as a 3A school, one of the fastest growing schools in the state. And it looks like they will be a team that will be reckoned with in 3A on the football field. Nice run here from the ball carrier for the Chargers. Primus Breckenridge getting a carry. Solid linebacker for him. Again, he was a former running back, so they give him a chance to run the football, and he gets the ball into U-High territory after the 19-yard run.
Yeah, and this is just kind of wearing down a U-High defense. These runs, opportunities weren't really there in the first half. Had to resort to the passing game, but now as the game goes on and this U-High defense been on the field all night, these little lanes open up.
Chriss keeps it. Nicely done. He's got a big run all the way down to the 11-yard line before he's slammed to the turf by Jordan Gilbert. 29 yards there for number 19.
Well, now you fake it off the inside and you let Chriss do his damage on the outside, and he shows you his speed and being able to get to the outside. Nice pickup there for Chriss. We talked about him being dual threat, and you get to see some of the running ability there.
Inside the ITI Technical College red zone. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage from Jaquilin Roy. Roy has 9 tackles for a loss this season. Now 10 after that one. I think this Madison Prep offensive line has done a decent job on Roy. He's made a few plays, but hasn't been a difference maker, obviously. Another run right up the gut from Breckenridge to the 4.
Yeah, and you have to credit the Madison Prep coaching staff and their strategy. You know, they, as many teams do, you don't run it right at him, or at least you have your quarterback roll away from Roy, depending on where he is, and kind of try to take him out of the play that way.
Breckenridge, another carry. 3rd and goal. Well, the one negative for Madison Prep is what they've been doing inside the 10-yard line tonight. It hasn't been pretty, even though they're up 27-0. That's the thing. This score could be much worse, Jason. Much worse. I mean, we could be looking at something like 50-0. Chriss is in the end zone. His first rushing touchdown of the night to go along with the 4 touchdown passes. What a great night for the sophomore.
Oh, no. Got it.
Yeah, that's Andre Van Marenbauer. 33-0.
Look at Zeon Chriss there. Good night for him.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's it. I mean, I don't expect you'll see him anymore.
27 all-purpose touchdowns coming into tonight. He's had 5 of them here.
Really just showing you strength. And again, just a sophomore. As you mentioned earlier, this guy's he's gonna get bigger. He's gonna get stronger. He's gonna put on some more pounds, and he'll probably get faster. He is gonna be a force to reckon with these next couple of years in high school football.
Landry Williams says he's also a good defensive back, but
they ain't gonna be playing that. I can tell you that now. Not for Madison Prep. Now, he could be recruited as a defensive back with his speed and his ranginess, but yeah, he's not going. You can see why he beat out some of his elder statesmen there.
And Landry Williams told us that last week was his worst game, and what a bounce-back performance against a premier program here in Baton Rouge. McKnight on the extra point try. High snap. Oh, Major Burns will just make something up here. Well, he'll throw it at the pylon. We'll take a break. 33-0 is our score. Zeon Chriss, you're going to be hearing a lot about this young man over the next couple seasons.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is, for a better life, and we mean that. For you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak, and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Ready to serve you with auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people.
5:46 left to go, 33-0. Madison Prep in a score that when a lot of people look at it in the paper or watch TV tonight, are going to say, what?
Well, if they were here too, they'd really be saying what, because it could, like you said, it could have been larger than this.
Yeah. Slaughter on the return. Rain has stopped falling, and Slaughter burst to speed up to the 50-yard line. Let's take a look at our play of the game from this one. A lot to choose from. Zeon Chriss threw 4 touchdown passes. The most exciting one.
Perfection and the best baked beans in America.
Comes here to Joe Williams.
Just the body control, midair. I mean, watch him float back to the left and just find that ball and pull it in. That's about as good as they come right there.
Splendid touchdown catch for Joe Williams, who's got 10 of them on the season. He's been a hard hitter on defense. These guys don't get tired. I bet you they can line up tomorrow in Tiger Stadium and get a couple snaps against Auburn.
That's what I'm so impressed about is their conditioning.
Yes.
And I mean, their stamina. They're out on the field almost every play. And now, granted, I mean, that can begin to wear on you as the season goes on. And honestly, if I'm Coach Williams, I'm taking number 1 out right now. Give him a break, give him a breather, make sure no injury.
Madison Prep doesn't have many players, just 40, 45 players on their team. Christian R, this ain't gonna go anywhere. Chargers, even with some backups out there, still dominating. Hakeem King, he's a starting linebacker making the tackle. Another former running back. Third and 16 now for U-High. Be an interesting week of practice for the Cubs. Like I say, when you lose to Neville, and I think that's one thing. Neville's an established program, one of the great high school football programs. I mean, you get shut out by them. Ard delivers a deep ball, incomplete. And not taking anything away from Madison Prep, because I like to see Madison Prep play Neville. I think that'd be a pretty good
matchup.
game.
Yeah.
But this one, district game. Gosh, when's the last time U-High's lost a district game, too?
Yeah, that's
on your home field.
Yeah, and we kind of talked to Coach Martin there about the expectations here and having to fill in for all of the players that they've lost.
And a good head coach.
And a good head coach who's gone on to Walker. And, you know, I think he was ready for the challenge. I mean, look, we have expectations here. We've built up a program, and you know, he expects to win the same manner that they were winning.
Sometimes you take some lumps, though, along the way, and I think this was just one of those nights for U-High. And you mentioned this in the first half, the body language for Madison Prep. I don't know, you know, obviously the weather really put a damper on the U-High home crowd. There were not many of them still left, but probably not the same energy for a home game that U-High can feed off of. This place was, I saw the highlights from Catholic High and U-High. This place was jumping that night.
Yeah.
And back in September. And if we had good weather here tonight, I think this place would have been really electric.
Well, and the other thing, too, is people still remember U-High. Hey, this team annihilated me, you know, in other schools. And now this is our opportunity. It's payback time. You know, let's get out here. And we've been wanting to beat U-High. And you know, they're not going to let off the gas.
With just over 4 minutes to go, Madison Prep will try to run the clock out here. Miles Pouliard on the carry. Under 4 minutes ago. Next week, Catholic League battle again. We'll have Holy Cross versus Brother Martin. Looking forward to that. Always enjoy doing games in the Catholic League. We finish out the regular season with Zachary and Walker. Speaking of Chad Mahaffey. That'll be a fun game, too.
Oh, no, another player down here.
That's Brock Slayton, who had an interception earlier tonight. Let's take a look at our Division II power ratings. And U-High came in at number 1. St. Thomas More, a couple losses. They lost to Catholic High on game time. And then the next week, they fell to Westgate. Loyola Prep's at 3. De La Salle, who we saw last week, in at number 4. And then there's Parkview Baptist. So, Turlings Catholic's had a nice season this year. Turlings, I think, is playing Westgate. So, I would say it's pretty open. I mean, St. Thomas More is the team to beat, but I think after watching this game, whoever faces the Cougars in the state championship game, that's wide open.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm after tonight, that may switch.
Yes.
St. Thomas
yes.
More.
And again, it's getting the number 1 seed on the select side means a lot now because you get
buys and everything.
Well, not only that, but the home field advantage possibly in the championship game. We still don't know where the select championship games will be played. There's a good chance you could play them at your home field, or St. Thomas More may elect to play it at Cajun Field. So that is, it means a lot more now on the select side as far as that top seed. Before, if 1, 2, doesn't really matter.
How about Tiger Stadium? Why is that not an option?
I don't see LSU going for that one.
Yeah, well, you want some of these kids to come over there, and what better way to recruit than to let them out there?
I can't even have an all-star game there anymore. I don't see them having a championship game there.
Verge probably didn't like that comment. Not on my field.
Well, maybe if he's got his 2 sons got a chance to play, he could play at LSU. All right, let's take a look at our player of the game.
Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Well, our player of the game is the sophomore quarterback for Madison Prep, Zeon Chriss. 4 touchdown passes, 1 rushing, delivering darts all night long to these talented wide receivers. Here's his rushing touchdown. You look at the numbers for him: 147 yards passing, 40 yards rushing. In complete command here tonight. Just a 1 interception. Flag flies there late at the end of that play. As frustrations building from the U High side.
It might be. Got Davey there. I see his hands up in the air like, what did I do? And that's normally the
defense. The result of that's going to be a first down.
So a 15-yard penalty against U High. Madison Prep in control now to win a district championship. The last couple of seasons, they haven't had a winning season. After going to the state championship in 16, they lost in the second round to St. James in 2017, and then last year they went 6-7 and lost to Eunice in the quarterfinals, but they returned 15 starters from that team, including what was a freshman quarterback. Nice tackle there from U High's Dylan Smith, a sophomore linebacker. The other thing with all these turf fields, Jason, you don't see too many games played on grass. So the old school.
This is coming to an end. Enjoy it. Enjoy it, because you're going to see very, very few, if any, grass fields in the coming years. People going to turf, just easier to maintain, and on nights like that, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but this field obviously in terrific condition. He'll be looking brand new again next week. Throw over the middle, knocked away. Great defensive play. Outstanding defensive play there from the Cubs' Jeremiah Vessel, who again took some licks early on in this game as a freshman, but started playing much better as the game went on.
Yeah, and look, I mean, he's going to be a heck of a defensive back over there, and this is a tough assignment. This would be a tough assignment for any DB in this game against some of these receivers.
I do agree with something that Landry Williams told us with our conversation we had him this week. They got to get their run game a little bit more consistent. That's what's missing from this team, because let's face it, the weather will get bad. It will get even much worse than this. And they definitely have the quarterback and wide receivers, but if they can get a little bit more balanced offensively somehow with their running backs, then this team is really the complete package.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But they were plenty good tonight. They were awesome tonight. Congratulations to Landry Williams and the Chargers. This is a victory. This is a signature victory for this program. I know they went to the state championship in 16, but beating the two-time Division II champions like this on their home field on a night where the conditions were not perfect is a statement victory for Landry Williams. And congratulations to the former Southern Lab Kitten. Very proud man of his team. And for U High, back to the drawing board a little bit for Andy Martin. We'll be back after this.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone. Stronger, faster, better. Choose Peak. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
Hi, we are live with the PPTV network where one of the top athletes is about to make his important decision. We know his character and nothing will hold him back.
I'm glad to have my family and friends here for this choice. It's more than my career. It will affect the rest of my life. I choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The decision is in. Why choose Peak?
Their reputation and their record of success is unmatched.
When it matters most, another patient chooses Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
$33-0 final score. Madison Prep put it on U High tonight. Let's send it down to the field and Kate Adams.
Coach Williams, an incredible performance by your Chargers tonight, both on offense and on defense. I mean, Chris was crisp, like you said you wanted him to be. That was one of your keys to the game, but also the offensive line. Just what a performance by the offense in general. What were you most impressed with?
Well, I really was impressed with defense as well. Defense win championships. The guys came out, they were real stubborn. They didn't give up. They didn't give up much at all. We kept them out the end zone. We didn't make many mistakes at all on defense tonight. The guys came in. They were locked in from the start. Actually, we've been locked in all week because we know what this game was meant for our program. So, hats off to my guys on defense as well. But a lot of guys on defense play offense, so we switched them back around, and they stepped up on offense as well. Zeon was Zeon tonight. Major and Joel stepped up big as always. Those are our leaders. So we put a lot on those guys' shoulders, and they accepted. So this is on to the next one now. This is a big win for our program indeed.
Definitely a big win to get this district win tonight. You got guys like Breckenridge, Harris. I mean, defensively and offensively, just an incredible performance. What are you going to have to continue to do leading into the final weeks of the regular season?
Well, definitely want to work on our special teams. We missed some punts there. Maybe missed some field goals there. We had a punt block. We can't have those things if we're trying to win a championship. So we're definitely going to work on those things and continue to play solid defense and stay away for the injury bugs.
Well, I heard a little slogan in there, rocket right to the dome. Is that something that y'all were saying? I know you guys have hopes to go to the dome, and rightfully so.
Yes, that's the goal coming in. We want to go 1-0 each and every week. and get better. You know, some of these guys hadn't played last year, so getting those guys, you know, adjusted to the speed of the game and the discipline of the game and the speed of the game is real important. So once again, we're going to take this win tonight, enjoy it, and get ready for Parkview next week.
Well, congratulations on the win, and with that, I'm going to present to you this Farm Bureau cooler. It's for every winning coach each week, so congratulations and good luck the rest of the season.
Hey, thank you.
Guys.
Nice job tonight, Kate. Great job by Landry Williams and the Madison Prep Chargers. They were just simply awesome tonight, and I agree with what he said there at the beginning, Jason. What they did here defensively, I know a lot of people are going to talk about
offense,
Zeon Chriss and Joe Williams and his 2 touchdown catches, but defense set the tone. They were flying around early, some big hits. I think they stunned U-High. They got them on their heels, and really they delivered a knockout punch in the third quarter. They didn't allow the Cubs do anything offensively.
No, that's right. Anytime you can hold U-High to 0 points, I mean, pitch a shutout, that's an unbelievable task and performance on the defense, so it's right to give his defense credit. And then offensively, I mean, they got all the pieces of the puzzle. I mean, if you want to nitpick, you say, okay, you know, they got to get the running game going, and they had some possessions inside the 5-yard line that they didn't convert. But outside of that, you know, they really played a flawless game tonight.
Let's take a look at the highlights from this one. Zeon Chriss, this is just a beautiful pass. Over the middle, over the linebacker, right in stride to Malik Palmer. Missed field goal here, so the score remains 6-0. And then Chriss on a missed coverage there from U-High. Joe Williams walks into the end zone. Then a tough night for Tanner Lawson, fumbles the football there. That results in another touchdown pass from Chriss, that time to Tyrell Raby. Chriss running around here late in the first half, throws this one up. It's intercepted by Brock Slayton. There's the Jaquilin Roy blocked field goal. And I thought maybe this would spark U-High. This would get them going. But just not their night tonight. Fumble there by Derek Graham. Chriss then on this pass, Joe Williams, the great body control. And then Chriss, for good measure, runs it into the end zone. He accounted for 5 touchdowns tonight as we look at our final stats. Total yards, 312 to 128. Passing game, really non-existent for U-High. We're so accustomed to them throwing the football all around the field, but it wasn't there here tonight. So for Andy Martin's team, they're going to have to figure out how to get it going. They did not have a good game offensively the week before, scoring just 9 points. So they've been held to 2 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. They got 2 weeks to figure it out before they get into playoffs. We'll see how good this U-High team is once the postseason begins. Well, that will do it for our broadcast here tonight. I want to thank both of these teams, these 2 schools, for allowing us to broadcast this game. Eric Coleman, the executive producer of Game Time. Also want to thank Kate Adams, doing a tremendous job down on the field here tonight. And for everyone else involved in the broadcast, Lenny Van Gilder, our producer, Walter Volpatti, Jason DeQuare, I'm Jeff Palermo. Have a great night, everyone.
Game Time on Your View has been brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection and the best baked beans in America. Visit Baton Rouge. It's not just the capital city, it's the hub of all things Louisiana. Find out more about all the Red Stick has to offer at visitbatonrouge.com. Monogram Express. We make ordinary gifts extraordinary.